Hi, everybody. It's me, Legal Vices. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. How are we all doing? I got myself 1 hour of sleep. It is now 2:56 a.m. here in Korea. Well, everybody kind of put out the word that we're here so that we can get some viewers to this little shit show we've got here. All 41 of you here. Spread the word. Get the good news out there that we're streaming. The judge came down for a second. She sat on the bench for about 3 seconds. She forgot something apparently upstairs, so she's gone to fetch whatever it was that she forgot. Oh, hey, wow. Xcomer, Triple Z, thank you so much. Five memberships. As soon as we get 5 people here, they can get them. Again, I don't even know why I'm doing this. We're just doing it because the people ask. You ask, I deliver. Again, for those of you that don't know, sentencing is not today. He's not going to be sentenced today. Just him and the prosecutors. He and the prosecutors are going to try to find a mutually acceptable day to do victim impact statements and sentencing. So they're trying to schedule the sentencing and stuff today. We'll have to see what they come up with. I know his schedule's pretty much open, so we'll just have to see. All right, like this video, please, because this is crazy. I slept for literally exactly 1 hour and just rolled out of bed. Just got here, and then we're going bareback here. We're raw dogging this. I'm just getting everything set up as we go. I have no idea. This could be very, very short. It could be very, very long. It could be anywhere in between. We'll just have to see. Just have to see how it goes. All bets are off at this point. Has he resigned to the fact he's spending the rest of his life in jail, or does he still have anything to say? And I swear to God, I will come unglued. I will come unglued if he starts off with subject matter jurisdiction and all that other crap again. Oh, we have another 5 memberships from Xcomer. Thank you so much again. Deeply appreciated as always. And if you're one of the lucky recipients of the gift memberships, please let Xcomer know how awesome Xcomer is and how much you appreciate it. Now let me make a quick tweet here. Well, what's this? Who is sending me messages at 3 a.m.? Oh, shit. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick is streaming this. Well, do we all go over to Nick or do we all stay here? What do you think? What do we think? Astaroth the Grim is drawing and quartering on the menu. No. Unfortunately, no. They can't do anything. They can't do anything, Whatever brings the best grift to me. Wow. Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Shit. Do both. let me see what's going on over at
State of Wisconsin versus
shit, we're
Darrell
here.
Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848. May I have the appearances, please?
Well, we're here now. I'll send him a note.
Sir, please state your name for the record.
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter.
We'll just stay here.
Representative
We'll stay here with their own little group here.
For value in return for value, all of the charging instruments in this.
He hasn't learned. He hasn't given up.
For discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments and state for the record that I do not identify by the name stated.
The record should reflect that the individual known to this court as Darrell Brooks is present in custody in person. He is appearing in jail attire today. The court is here to address a couple of things. Of course, the scheduling of sentencing. I also want to address a letter that was sent to the parties late last week on the 28th regarding the unsealing of search warrants, a filing from Mr. Brooks, and then an issue.
Well, he's got 13,000 some odd people.
As it relates
I've got
to
my
the record
loyal
and the use of
200 right
restraints
here.
during the trial. given
We'll
the
stay here.
Statement that was made by Mr. Brooks when the jury was coming out after they had reached their verdicts. So I'll start with the search warrant issue. The parties should have received the letter dated October 28th, advising the parties that the court will be unsealing all of the search warrants tomorrow, November 1st, unless there's an objection that is raised. Of course, that's based in law.
I'll just send him a
Fact,
text message here.
And I indicated in that letter we would address any objections at this hearing. So I'll start with the state. Do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brooks?
I have not received anything. I'm quite sure, or I don't know if you knew, but the very second that I left your courtroom Wednesday, Your Honor, I was placed on suicide watch. I was told that it was per jail administration, that it was policy. It was nothing I could do about it. They immediately took me right from court, stripped my cell. I talked to mental health. They changed me right over into the smock. And I was basically placed on that. They just gave me regular clothes maybe 10 minutes before I came to your courtroom, Your Honor. So I haven't, I wasn't
printed it
allowed
off.
any
We'll give
mail.
it to you.
Huh?
I had the letter printed off and we'll give it to you now so you can take a moment to review it. It really says everything that I just put on the record just now.
Yeah. So basically, the email's not
I accept the value
important.
in return for value of this document.
I think it might be just standard operating procedure when you give someone a sentence, which means they're either getting the death penalty or life in prison without parole or something. They probably put them on suicide watch immediately.
No
At least for a
initials
while.
Indicated wrong. It does reference this case number.
When was this letter? Because like I said, I've been on watch, so I haven't been able to obtain any mail whatsoever. Not from the courts, not personal mail, not anything.
So that was signed on Friday and then sent over. I'm not sure if it was emailed or if it was just delivered to the jail. I don't know if Madam Clerk has any information. It was done by my other clerk, but in any event, you have it before you. What I can tell you, sir, is that normally search warrants may be sealed for a period of time. All of these warrants were set to be unsealed previously, but due to the pretrial publicity and the various orders related to the jury, including the use of the jury questionnaire, I had, at the request of the parties and with the consent of all parties, sealed or continued the seal on all of these documents, and the previous order indicated that everything would be unsealed either November 30th or at the conclusion of the jury trial, whichever came first. Of course, the jury trial is now concluded, even though the case hasn't gone to sentencing. So my intent would be to unseal everything tomorrow.
Wow. Of course, there's probably
Unless you
nothing.
have an objection and it's based in law.
I have, like you said, this is my. I didn't even know that this was even sent over to the jail until right now, until you told me.
Understood. Do you have an objection to what I propose to do? So
I don't even understand. What do you mean by sealed and unsealed? I don't.
it would become a matter of the public record, and anyone could review those search warrants if they make a request.
Search warrants for what property?
There's a number of search warrants that have been sealed as it relates to this case.
From what I saw, everything's been pretty much public. I don't see why they need to be unsealed at this point. everything's pretty much been public already.
All right, well, I am going to unseal them effective tomorrow. The clerk's office is instructed that first thing tomorrow morning, they may unseal all of the search
We'll read
warrants
these super chats or super chat when
in
we
this
get a bit.
case. The next issue I want to address is I want to make a record specifically as it relates to the restraints that the sheriff's department utilized during this case, given a comment made by Mr. Brooks when the jury was coming out the very last time. I don't recall if you said something about a stun belt or shackles or something to that effect, but it was inaccurate. I have asked the sheriff's department to provide photographic documentation of the shackles that were utilized in this case.
Yes, we know.
Parties will recall the tables look a little different now because there are no table skirts on them. On all defense tables in the secure courtroom, there is a ring. It's really more looks like a
Today's not the
rectangle,
sentencing, they're just
that
scheduling.
is attached to the leg of the table, and an inmate who's in custody but in trial, a soft restraint system is utilized, primarily so it's soft and not hard.
Ooh, soft
And then it's
soft
attached
restraints.
to the table. So
There's like
that it
fuzzy
confines
handcuffs.
the inmate to a small area with that table. Obviously, during the trial, Mr. Brooks was able to stand. His hands were free, but I felt it important to have a thorough record of the restraints that were utilized. The photographs that have been provided are on a compact disc. They will be filed as Court Exhibit 3, but they will remain under seal. And that is because of the security concerns related to how the sheriff's department secures inmates.
So we don't get to
during
see
the
pictures of
trial.
his shackles.
That certainly is an overriding interest, overriding any public interest to see what those restraints are. And I would just further note that during the trial, when Mr. Brooks would be brought from the holding area into the courtroom, this courtroom was closed to the public. And that was really to maintain that privacy, if you will, or secrecy, if you will, regarding the restraint system. And so I believe it's important that that information not be released to the public. It will be available, of course, to the court and the parties. And if there is an appeal, any attorney that may represent you can certainly look at that, but it'll otherwise be under seal. So
Why would
the
that-
record is very clear on the restraint system that was utilized during this trial.
I have a question to that.
Okay.
Why is that remaining sealed, but everything else being open to the public?
I've indicated my reasons are on the record. I'm not going to restate them. So
Well, I think that the public, if they're allowed to see search warrant information and things like that, then I think that they should know that it was a shock device on my ankles. That
there was no shock device.
It
on
was
your
a
ankle,
shock
sir.
device. I was told it was a shock device,
Mr. Brooks.
and
That's
it was
why I'm
covered
making
up.
the
It
record.
was covered up by a black cloth, so the jury purposely could not see it, and so that the public cannot see it. I was told that a chair had to be placed on my side so that no one can see that I was shackled with ankle shocks. I think the public should know that. The jury should have known that. That's what they were.
Mr. Brooks, I've made my ruling.
Doesn't matter.
Your
Why does it
characterization of
matter?
Ruling,
those
but it
as-
should be
Hold on.
noted.
Your
it should be
objection is
noted.
noted for the record.
It
Your-
should be noted that I had a shock device on my ankles. That's fact.
It
It's
is
a
not
fact.
sir.
It is a fact. I'm the one that had them on my ankles. I inquired about what they were. Obviously, I'm going to inquire about what's being put on my body. I was told that there were a shock device, which I know how a shock device looks because I've been through this before in Milwaukee. So I know what a shock device is. It was clearly a shock device that was purposely not shown to the jury or to the public.
He's a
Purposely.
bouncy,
And
twitchy
then now
little
you're
thing
saying that
today.
It's going to be sealed. Well, why should it be sealed? The
All right,
public
Mr.
doesn't
Brooks,
deserve.
you're-
The public deserves
You've
to
made
know.
a record
The
and
public
it's
deserves
noted.
to know about
And
things pertaining to a search warrant.
Of course, it
about
was
the fact
purposely
that I was
not shown. They
bitten
didn't
by
want
a
to
shock
prejudice the
device,
jury by
that
showing
if
you
I
in
moved the
shackles.
wrong way, I could have got shocked with all this
it's
voltage.
absolutely false that you
That
have a
is
shock
not
device
false,
on,
and
sir.
you know that it's not.
He
false.
didn't have one on?
I have the photograph
Well, show
that
the
will be
where's
part
the
of the record,
photographs? Where's the photograph?
What?
and they
You
will
just
be
said they would be
sealed
sealed. Why do they need to
from
be
public
sealed?
view
Why
for
do
the
they need to
reasons
be
that I've
sealed from
already
the public?
indicated.
Why do they need to be sealed
Mr.
from
Brooks,
the
I
public?
need to move on to scheduling.
Can we move on to subject matter jurisdiction that hasn't been proved for the record?
All right, so
Can we move on to that?
Mr. Brooks, I really don't want to remove you from the courtroom today.
It-
But I need to
don't,
move
I
on.
don't want
This
to be
is-
removed, but you're not.
this
gonna
is like
sit
the
here
last
and tell
argument
me
he's
what
ever
was
gonna
on
have.
My body when I was told what it was. That's inaccurate, and I refuse.
At a
Your
later
Honor,
point in time, I
Your
will
Honor,
put.
I refuse to sit here and let you make an inaccurate record when you know that it was in fact a shock device.
Wait a minute.
That's why I had the black cloth in front of the table so it couldn't be shown. That's
not
why I had
right.
a chair sitting on the side of me that was told needs to cover up the fact that I had a shock device on my ankles. And I think it's very, very, very unfair and it's dishonorable to get on a record and not tell the truth. I'm not trying to dishonor you, Your Honor. I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm not trying to disrespect your court. I just want the truth to be told. That should not be sealed. If everything else can be open to the public, then the public should know that I had a shock device on my ankles. That was purposely
Wait a
not shown
minute.
to the jury.
Did
or
they
to the
lie to
public.
him? No, did they tell him
should
it was
know
a
that.
shock thing when it wasn't?
All right, thank you, Mr. Brooks. I disagree wholeheartedly with your
Well, it's
characterization.
not true.
Mr. Brooks, I didn't interrupt you. Please
It's not
don't
true.
interrupt me.
It's not
Placebo
true.
shaker
Mr. Brooks?
charge.
I'm quite sure it's cameras rolling right now because there are always cameras rolling. There's always audio on.
Mr. Brooks, I need
There's
to move on to
there's public in the
scheduling.
courtroom. I had a shock device on my ankles, and they purposely did not want to show that to you guys or to the jury.
It doesn't matter what you show to the
That's
public,
right.
you fuck
I'm
with.
advising you,
Here or here.
Mr.
That's
Brooks,
the
I'm
reason
advising
why.
you.
And I always had the chair right here. Everybody that came in this courtroom seen that I had a chair right here, even though I had no counsel. What is the reason for me to have a chair right here?
All right, Mr. Brooks,
Because
any further-
Elijah
any
may
further
come.
Interruptions will
You always leave-
be
anyway.
removed to the other
Okay,
courtroom because
and
you're
you
not
always-
letting.
He doesn't
me
need to
do
be
what
here
I'm
for this.
doing.
He does not need to be
Civil
here.
criminal contempt.
All right, one more interruption and you will go to the other courtroom.
Well, they need to
There you
know
go. That was an interruption.
Stop.
Send him out,
They
Judge.
need to know that. They
That's
need
two
to know.
interruptions.
I'm
Send him
gonna
out,
ask
Judge.
the state some questions. If you interrupt when I do that, you will be removed to the
Okay,
other
remove
courtroom.
me in.
That's three interruptions
Attorney-
and a request.
Attorney
It's
Basie.
not going to stop the fact that they need
All right,
to know that
he
a shock
There you
device
go.
is
is on my
interrupted.
ankles.
I'm sorry, everyone. We'll have to clear the courtroom. He will be removed to the other courtroom. I'll make the
That's fine.
appropriate
Tell the
findings.
truth, though, Your Honor. Tell the truth. I had a shackle.
Lieutenant,
I had a shock device
Captain,
on
can
my
I
ankles.
please see you? We're off.
Wow. There we go. He's out. I. Now's the time to tase him. Wow. This is wild. He's too breaded to be Passover. He's too leavened. He's too leavened. Unleavened. Yeah, no, wow. Oh, flag, I missed you. For a whole 5 minutes. What a surprise. Oh, my Lord. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. That makes it worth getting up out of bed for. Thank you for encouraging me to get an hour of sleep and to jump out of bed and to stream this garbage fest. UKLSA, anyway, I love the show. So it's UK law. So I'm not even going to try to figure out what the UKLSA stands for. Love the show. Trying to do my law module on tort law in the UK. FML, keep up the good work. Well, I hope this keeps you entertained while you're doing that. This is wild. Laser Doctor, love your streams, Vices. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. That is so deeply appreciated. For the 450 of you that are here, I deeply appreciate your presence. We know that other folks, namely Nick, is streaming this over on Rumble. I thought he wasn't doing this, and apparently everyone else thought he wasn't doing it either. So he's doing his stream over there. He invited me like literally 15 seconds after I started my stream. So I sent him, I just sent him a chat saying, shoot, I didn't know you were streaming. I already started mine already. And he said, no worries. But then I said, my 200 viewers are going to crush his 14,000 viewers. But I've doubled since then. See, it was 200 to 14,000. I've doubled. I'm already up to where are we up to now? We're already up to 441. I've doubled my streamers. Nick hasn't doubled his 14,000. He's only got another 1,000. So So we were growing faster than he is. So all right. So what just happened? I mean, either I really oh, Sassy Lass, hang on. Sassy Lass, this is my first comment, and I want to say thank you for all your content and commentary. Oh, that is so deeply appreciated. Ozzy Overlord abandoned you. I assumed he was sleeping because it's 5 o'clock in the morning where he is. I didn't invite anybody. I thought Nick was still sleeping. I thought he was sleeping, so I just decided you asked me to do this earlier during my stream, so I said I would. I've been with you, Legal Vices, since the beginning. Some folks are going to go over to Nick's. These 304s ain't loyal. These 304s. Yeah, these 304s ain't loyal. Lol, kidding. Yeah. I mean, I would certainly have gone on Nick's if you just told me a little bit earlier. But you guys are here, and that's what's appreciated. Now, unless I have completely misunderstood the situation, he didn't really have the shock shackles on during that entire trial. Apparently they just told him he did, or somehow we all on planet Earth had the idea that he had shock shackles on. Wow. I know Ozzy Overload's over with Nick, but I'm here and you're here. So that's all that matters. People that are over at Nick's are over at Nick's. People that are here are here. We're different people. It's time for the little bird to spread my wings and go head to head with the master. But that's the last we're going to talk about that. Oh Lord, that is so funny. So yeah, we were apparently all hoodwinked. They lied to him to fuck with his head. They lied to me too. They lied to me too. I thought he had shock shackles on, but he didn't. That is hilarious. Wow.
The record in State versus Brooks.
Love your streams. Why is he still moaning about stuff?
Mr. Brooks, if
what
you
doesn't it get
me,
him?
I will
Nothing.
mute you so that I can
it
make
doesn't get him anything. It just gets him a few extra minutes out of jail.
Regarding
Anyway, Your Honor.
all right, he interrupted. I can mute him. I need
Okay,
to
Mrs.
make a
Doubtfire.
record of his removal. The court
Make
did
sure you hit
warn
that
Mr.
like
Brooks
button and
repeatedly
the
that if he
subscribe button if you haven't
continued
already done
to
so.
be disruptive, the court would remove him to
And
the other courtroom. It was
super
my
chat me.
sincere hope that would not need to take
Feel
place
used.
today. I gave him the final warning, and then I indicated I would be turning to the
Oh,
state
you don't
ask
have
him
to
some
put this on the
questions, and
record.
if he interrupted that process, he would be removed. He immediately interrupted that. And so the courtroom was closed. He was put into the other courtroom. I have confirmed that the audio and visual technology is working.
Don't make me put shock shackles on you.
You can see at least the other individuals in there confirmed that was the case. He was audible for a little bit when I first went on the record, but he continued to be disruptive.
Well.
And so I did utilize the mute function of the technology so that
Don't
I
know.
could make
Didn't
an
send her
adequate
anything.
record.
Maybe we should. Why not?
Although this is really a scheduling hearing today, I will make a finding under Illinois versus Allen that his conduct was,
All right, more you Illinois v.
did
Allen.
disregard
Why he gets to
the
get kicked
elementary
out.
standards of proper conduct, of decorum and courtesy. He was disruptive. He interrupted multiple times and challenged this court when this court was making a record regarding the restraints that were utilized throughout this trial. I'm not going to do it today, but I will at a later point in time. Perhaps after scheduling, I will have a deputy testify regarding the restraints that were utilized.
Yes, please do.
So that there is a full and complete record about what was utilized and what was not utilized throughout this trial. It is absolutely false that a stun belt of any kind was used on Mr. Brooks. I don't know if he's receiving that information from other inmates. But that was not utilized in this case. It was a soft leg restraint setup,
I'll be
if you
damned.
will, where he was shackled his ankles with the soft restraints and the soft strap so that it did not make noise. That was all attached to the table. And it is absolutely true that there was a black table skirt on the tables.
Well, I'll be damned. We were all hoodwinked by somebody
in this courtroom.
I don't know where he heard it, but
Despite
apparently
Mr.
he
Brooks
heard it in the same
believing
place
that,
I did.
It was not done for his benefit. It was to shield that information from the jury. It's also true that at
And
all
we'll read the
times
super
when he
chats at a
has
break
been
here.
brought into court, it's been before the court has been open to the public. If this court needed to remove him to the other courtroom, it was also done with the courtroom closed to the public. That was, of course, a security decision made by the sheriff's department. They are in charge of his security as well as the court's security during any court proceeding in this courthouse.
Oh, I
It was
appreciate you
their
just being here.
discretion and decision on what restraints would be utilized. And again, I'll go through that later and have a record made of what was utilized, including having one of the deputies identify what's on the exhibit. I'm not going to show that publicly. Again, there are security reasons. We don't frankly need inmates doing research or the public doing research on what these restraints are. There's an important security aspect related to keeping courts safe, keeping inmates safe, and that
Someone
is why
hijacks the
I'm
Bluetooth
pulling that information
zaps
from
him or
public
what?
View, so that their protocols and practices
I do not know what the Queensbury rules is.
have that, frankly, veil of secrecy.
I shall
It's
look.
important given the security issues. It's a law enforcement function, and that is my decision on that. As far as Mr. Brooks being in the other courtroom, again, I did that pursuant to the authority found in Illinois versus Allen. I did not hold him in contempt. Frankly, because it's a scheduling type hearing, I could simply have him taken back to the jail and he could appear by phone, but I've chosen to have him appear by video and audio means from the other courtroom. With that, I am going to address scheduling. I will be asking
Do we need
each
to boost the
party
volume?
in turn how much time they believe they need to present their various sentencing remarks and whether anyone will be
Is that better?
speaking on behalf. So I'll turn to the state first.
Thank you, Your Honor. To date, we have indications from the victims or their families that 36 people would like to either have a statement read or they'd like to read it themselves. We have approximately 5 to 10 others that would like to submit one in writing, which obviously wouldn't impact the time that we would need on the sentencing date. I would think that the state's comments would be between a half an hour to 45 minutes in total. So we're looking probably at about 4 to 4.5 hours. We will need
Wow.
some time to rotate victims out of the courtroom as they come in and to speak, because we can't fit everyone in the courtroom at one time. So we'll need to get one set in, get another one to room 115 so that they can hear what's
Sue's
being
missing in
said.
action.
So we're thinking 4 hours, and speaking with the families and the victims Wednesday after the verdict.
Where's
I
Keffels?
think
No.
there's a strong desire to have the sentencing before the anniversary of the
Oh,
parade
wow.
incident. And
So
that
they wanna
obviously
get-
is
they wanna
November
move this quick.
21st. In checking with people, November 15th, 16th works for everyone. Specifically, the 16th works for everyone that would like to talk. I know that this
It works
court
for Brooks.
obviously
He's not going
has
anywhere.
Court calendars. I do have other dates that would work. Unfortunately, those go out to the end of December, end of November, beginning of December. But again, I can't
Do it on the
emphasize
16th.
enough.
Get this over
there
with.
are a lot of families who are leaving town the week of the parade, and I think the general consensus would be it would be nice for them to have some finality to this before they leave, so that they're not around here at the time that a loved one was injured or killed.
By any chance, did you have an opportunity to look at my calendar and some of the jury trials and talk with your
Not today.
colleagues? I mean, one of the cases, for example, I have on the 15th is an attempted homicide trial. I don't know if that's going to go or not, but just like this court gave due attention to this case, I need to be mindful that that case has been scheduled since June.
I did not. I received these dates, although I believe that they were probably sent this weekend. I did not check my email over the weekend, so I did receive them this morning, and unfortunately, I did not take the time to do that. We can certainly look right now.
I think so.
Do you know who's handling that?
It's probably
attempted homicide
automatic.
From our office?
I believe that's Attorney Sitzberger.
Okay.
There's other cases as well because it's rare that I wouldn't stack
Right.
trials. And so there's also another serious felony matter with Attorney Thurston for your office. That one was scheduled in August. I have
Objection, I shower on the 16th.
another one with you,
Yes.
Attorney Basie. I'm just looking at the number of.
You know, she's not sentencing him. Today, they're scheduling the
Yeah,
victim
eight
impact
different
statement day, and then
defendants.
they'll schedule
Well,
sentencing.
Many more cases, but 8 different defendants scheduled for jury trial on the 15th. The other thing is on the 16th, our CJCC has a very special meeting. I'm still the chair of that, and that is an anniversary of the CJCC that I do not want to miss. So not that I couldn't work around that, and it's not that I'm not willing to change, my calendar in any way that I can.
I can tell you, Attorney Witchow did reach out to Attorney Sitzberger. He indicated, and he said,
Attorney
we can put this on the
Schitzberger.
record, he's 98% confident that will resolve, the attempted homicide will resolve. Attorney Thurston is not in the office today, so I can't speak to that trial.
All right, let me, before we look at dates, of course, let me talk with
He,
Mr.
it doesn't
Brooks
matter.
and find out.
the
how long
minimum
he
sentence he can get is
is
life in prison without
sentencing
possibility of
remarks
parole.
or anyone. So, sir, I have unmuted you. If you could speak to scheduling.
What did he? Oh, he. See if there's anybody he wants to have come speak on his behalf.
I know you're well aware that I have ongoing matters in Milwaukee pending too. I have to be in court there in 2 weeks, and those cases are scheduled for trial as well.
They're probably going to drop those charges, maybe.
I haven't had the opportunity to speak with my representation over there because of the protocol that I've been on these past, I think it was 5 days since I last was in your court.
Not going to happen.
I would like the opportunity to, now that obviously this was the big case, obviously. If it pleases the court, if it pleases you, Your Honor, I would at least like to get a disposition on what might happen there. I go to court there in 2 weeks. I'm sure that I would learn a lot more at that time. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the same representation at this point or if something's going to change with that.
Do you
So
know
that's
the
something that-
specific date that you're scheduled?
The 17th. That's for both cases. I don't know why they put both cases on the same date. And like I said, I don't know if anything's going to change between now and then. But both of those cases are scheduled to go to trial. And like I said, with the representation there, I don't know what's going to happen with that as of yet. There's been issues for months with that. I know that's something that Milwaukee has to deal with and not your court. But it would be a great help to me to at least be able to find out what I can find out about what can possibly happen there.
It's not her
To
problem.
also do any work that I may need to do on my end to prepare for that.
That has nothing to do with her.
So I have
Nothing.
looked at the dates. You are right. There's a hearing on the 17th at 2 p.m. The trial, though, in that case is not scheduled until December 12th. So my belief would be I could certainly see the judge in that case understanding if we had to go to sentencing or I chose to go to sentencing on those dates. And it looks like, again, both cases are scheduled for those same dates.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to me. The way they scheduled both cases on the same day was just kind of like, I didn't really understand why they did it like that.
Well, let's talk about a related issue, and that is, do you anticipate anyone speaking on your behalf at the time of sentencing?
Mm.
I do.
All
I
right.
do.
And do you know how many people you anticipate speaking on your behalf?
I don't know an exact number, Your Honor. Rough estimate there'd be 20 or more.
What?
I have not
20 or more
yet
people speaking for
spoken
you?
with everybody, obviously, because of the protocol that I've been on. I haven't had the chance to. Essentially, some people will be traveling to Wisconsin from different areas, different states.
This is
And
bullshit.
I know they've expressed.
There is
wanting
no
to be
way
here to
20
speak
people
for
are
that.
coming to speak for him.
Like I said, me myself not being able to have the opportunity to speak with them personally. I don't know exactly how many, and I don't know if
Yeah,
how many
mom,
people will
if
be
she
coming
shows
from
up.
different parts of the states. I would ask, if it pleases Your Honor, to be able to have everyone that does want to speak and does want to address the court, to give them the opportunity to be here for that. I know there's, as far as the people that are here in Wisconsin that will speak, one thing that they was stressed to me is that how is everything going to affect what's going on in Milwaukee? So that was like one thing that came up, and because I had totally forgot that the Milwaukee court dates were this close. And so I was just like, yeah, you're right, 17th, that's 2 weeks roughly. I don't know exactly
It'll be quick. They're all imaginary.
where we're at in those proceedings. Like I said, there's still like some issues going on
Exactly.
with the representation. I haven't been able to reach out. Obviously, I can't reach out from where I'm at, collect call wise. And I've had very, very limited interaction with the current representation in those matters. So
Are you going to fire him too? Fire them, him, her? I don't know who
what
it is.
pleases you, Your Honor. I don't know what
Nothing
pleases the
pleases.
court, but I guess what I'm seeking is for enough time to know exactly who's going to be speaking, where they're going to be traveling from, and a little bit more information that I can provide to this court about the proceedings in Milwaukee County.
One of the things that I've done for other cases, and I know I was asked about this previously as well, and I would also offer it up to the parties, is I will also make available Zoom for
Yes.
victims, family members.
There you go.
Including your family members who would like to make a statement on your behalf. The only thing I ask, though, is I'm not just going to open up my Zoom to anybody. And so anyone who wants a relative, a victim, family member to speak, whether it be from the state or from you, Mr. Brooks, is I need to know who, no later than probably a couple of days before. I'm leaning toward scheduling this on the 15th, so that would be like the Friday before, which would be the 11th, so that when they come on the Zoom, they're identified, and then I let them in. So
She wants to do this quickly too. That's good.
I understand your concern about the Milwaukee, but if I hold this on the 15th and the 16th, by your description of how many people, by what the state said, I think it's going to take about a day to hear the remarks from the parties. And then I would come fresh the next day to give the court's sentencing.
Boom. That's
so
good.
Probably a day and a half, but I'd set aside both of those days just to be on the safe side, in case it takes a little bit longer for either of the parties to present their sentencing remarks.
But the bailiffs are laughing their arses off. Shock shackles.
Go ahead.
Thanks, D-Flesh.
I was trying to make sure I didn't interrupt.
Too late for that, dumbass.
Your Honor, with all due respect, if it pleases the record, if it pleases
the record,
Your Honor,
the record.
Because of my situation, I could benefit from a little bit more time. I'm not asking for something.
This
outrageous.
is to schedule the victim impact statements and
enough
sentencing.
I can tie up some of my loose ends, get you the information that you need to be able, if someone has to be present by Zoom or whatever the case may be, or to find out if these people are actually going to travel, and also still be able to prepare for what I need to prepare for. Because obviously, I still, regardless to anything, I still have to be prepared to continue court proceedings. I still have to be prepared. It will really, really be a big help and a great benefit if I can have just a little bit more time to tie up the loose ends. And
Well,
get
are you
everything
going somewhere?
done
Got a lot
in
of pressing
timely
social
fashion to be
engagements?
able to be ready to go and present what's needed to the court.
I understand that, sir. The issue the court has is, obviously, if I wait much longer than that, I would, out of respect for the victims, avoid the week of November 21st. That's also Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, you ain't getting
I
Thanksgiving.
don't think that would be an appropriate time for sentencing. But then after that, I do have, I mean, my calendar is just incredibly full. I have some time off in there.
Do it the 15th and the
I have
16th.
trials almost every week other than the week that I'm off, all the way up through the week of December 19th. And then again, I'm off again for the holidays. I wouldn't, and so that puts us into January, and I'm not
Oh,
willing to
Jesus.
do that. It's just,
Yeah.
and plus I need to avoid the week of that trial in case one of your cases goes to trial. So I think I'm giving the parties ample time. I'm giving alternate ways for family members to speak, and that is by Zoom or in person, should they wish to be here in person. And I'm willing to clear my calendar, even of those trials. Hopefully my trials resolve, but to the extent that they don't, then I will clear Tuesday the 15th. Wednesday the 16th, though, I would not start until later that day, given the meeting I have to chair for the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, or Collaborating Council. So that's from 8:30 to 10. I need to talk with our executive director a little bit more because I know we have a special type of meeting schedule, and I don't know if it will go longer. At a minimum, it would be safe to say the afternoon on that date. And no matter what, that would still clear Mr. Brooks to be in Milwaukee on the 17th. I mean, we're one county over. It's not unusual to do an order to produce.
Judge, stop pounding the desk.
When I was, oh, I'm sorry.
No, so I am going to schedule it for the 15th and the
Yes.
16th. The 15th will start at
Let me just pen that in my calendar.
8:30 a.m. And depending on, I mean, I'll be ready to go no matter what on the 15th. And if the state takes into the afternoon and then
Boom.
Mr. Brooks
All right,
needs
scheduled.
the rest of that afternoon or into the next day, I will certainly make those accommodations. I think I'm going to tentatively say we're going to schedule it for 1 p.m. on the 16th. And if anything changes, I'll let the parties know. And then I just need to know by Friday the 11th at noon who the parties are asking to make their statements by Zoom with a listing of their names so that when they appear on the Zoom, because then I'll approve it. We'll release the Zoom information. I need everyone to be aware, though, including victims, your family members, and it may not just simply give this Zoom information out. It will be only for those.
I'm not ignoring you.
that are
I just
identified
can't.
by the state as
I
wanting
can't
to
have
appear
Radix
by
on if I don't have any way of
Zoom.
contacting her. So
I want to keep a tight control.
we'll work
over
on it
that.
later.
And if
Too late
I
now.
don't
We're almost done.
see, like a name either says a name that's been approved, like let's say you had
All right.
a friend.
Let me just read
by
the
the
super
name of John
chat
Smith.
before it gets too late.
If John Smith doesn't
Jacob's
say,
Madre,
put on
24
their Zoom
forever.
info, John
Jeff, I
Smith,
hope you had a
I'm
great
not- and
weekend.
It's just a phone number. I may not.
I wanted to tell you that I chose you
have to
over
be
EDB and
identified.
Nick. For this, I
Can't just
adore
give
you,
it out to
and I wouldn't want to
anyone.
be anywhere else.
And
Also,
it's
they need to shock
only for
DB's
those
ass at least
individuals
once
who
for
wanna
us.
Make a statement since the proceedings will
I
be
agree.
live
Thank you
streamed
for
as
being here.
well. Whether that be how we've been doing it throughout the trial, or if I utilize the Zoom and the live stream I've done in the past, so that other people can watch it as well and to facilitate the smaller courtroom that we have. So that's my decision on that. And at the I want to just very briefly have, I believe it's going to be Deputy Kibler who's going to
Cool.
testify about the restraints.
Let's hear about these restraints. Let's
Your Honor.
finally get to the
Yes.
bottom of what the restraints are all about.
I'm not trying to interrupt.
Go ahead.
You said, when is this supposed to be? Because I'm definitely gonna need a little bit more time than the 11th.
Mr. Brooks, I've made my decision. The sentencing will be on the 15th and the 16th of November. Anyone who wants to appear by Zoom on your behalf, you must file a request in writing no later than noon on the 11th. The same is true for the state. Everyone needs to be specifically identified so that I can make the appropriate approvals, and only those.
You've got 2 weeks to get your shit together,
specifically
Brooks.
approved to appear by Zoom may be on the Zoom. The Zoom information can't be passed out further. And I'll create a special Zoom for that, and I'll make sure that I work with Teresa to do that and get that information when I approve that to the party.
What if he actually does come up with
What if
20
I'm
people?
placed on the protocol per the jail? What if
Mr. Brooks, that's between you and the jail at this point. If there is
question.
something you need to first go through them. I'm not going to step on their toes with their protocols. I'm sure they'll understand this is a very important sentencing for you.
It is very
Make
important for him.
certain accommodations. They've done that throughout this case. I trust that they will do that as they determine is appropriate.
they haven't done it for the past week when I went on the protocol without even telling them anything.
We are currently
Suicidal in nature.
31,903 subscribers, 97 more to
And
32,000.
that's- I need to move on because I do have
Yeah.
calendar this afternoon, but I want to have Detective
she's
Hibbler
busy.
come to the stand.
Your
Hibbler.
Honor,
Deputy,
What?
what did I say? Detective, did I give you a promotion? Sorry. All right.
but
He's going to come on
But-
up to the witness stand. I'm going to
But-
swear him in, and we'll go from there.
All right.
for the record, may I respectfully object to your ruling, Your Honor?
No.
It's noted for the record. All right. Madam Clerk, swear him in, please.
For the record, may I respectfully request a legal reconsideration
All right,
of
Mr.
your
No.
ruling,
Brooks,
Your
I'm going
Honor?
to have to mute you because I need to keep going. and I can't
Good.
have
And I have to read a super chat while
Go
she
ahead.
swears Officer
Raise your
Beard
right.
in. Thank you, bearded ship captain looking maritime lawyer, for all your content and grift. You have become one of my favorite
Thank you,
YouTubers.
sir.
Cheers, Jeff.
Appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank you so much for that.
I'll let
I
you
deeply
put your
appreciate
name
that.
on the
You
record
rock.
So I don't get that wrong. And so go ahead. Please state and spell your first and last names.
First name Nicholas, Nicholas. Last name Kibler, Kibler.
Kibblers and bits.
All right, thank you. And you are employed in what capacity?
What if 20 sovereign citizen advocates?
I'm a
Oh,
deputy
dear.
for the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department.
You don't have a, DVD.
By the way, thanks.
Sir, were you assigned the
Piage?
trial of Darrell
Sorry, I have no
Brooks?
idea how you want me to
I
pronounce that. Sorry, P.
And can you tell us in what capacity?
My capacity was specifically, my responsibility was Darrell Brooks, along with Deputy Stanielson.
And
And-
were you in court at the start of the trial on October 3rd?
I was,
And did you come into court or work the court trial every day that we were in session?
I did.
And can you, were you at all in charge of the restraints? Let me ask you this, do you have knowledge of the restraints that were utilized on Mr. Brooks
I
throughout this
do.
trial? Can you describe those?
I wish I was that buff. Wish I was
The
that buff and
soft
handsome.
restraint that we used,
Soft
it-
restraint.
it was not any type of electronic control device. It was just
Oh.
a soft restraint that we applied to Mr. Brooks prior to coming into court every day.
I feel lied to.
And would that be a restraint system that was on his legs or something else?
It was around his ankles.
All right. Throughout the trial, the tables in this courtroom had black table skirts. Do you remember seeing those?
I do.
And did that hide from view in any way the use of the restraints from the jury?
It did.
And were the restraints also attached to the table in some fashion?
They were attached to the table by a tether.
At any point in time, were there any other restraints utilized in the courtroom?
There was not.
At any point in time, were there any type of
I feel so
electronic
cheated.
or stun device placed on Mr. Brooks?
There was not.
Anything you would want to add to the record regarding the restraints that were used in this case, sir?
Not at this time.
State have any questions?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Sir, you indicated that the restraints were connected to the table through a tether, is that correct?
Correct. And then we would secure them with a padlock.
And how
On the
long was that
restraint.
tether?
The tether that was in here was 4 feet.
Jeez.
So Mr. Brooks could stand up,
Correct.
he could walk to his left briefly and walk to his right, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that was the same rule that the state had, that we had to stand up and use our table to question witnesses. That was the same rule that applied to Mr. Brooks.
Correct.
Okay, nothing further.
Mr. Brooks, you're muted. Do you have any questions regarding the restraint system as testified to by
Yes.
Deputy
Yes,
Kimber?
yes, I do. And Your Honor, you can't practice law from the bench.
What?
Your question, sir?
So none of your fellow deputies told me that it was a shock device when I asked what was being placed on my ankles at the start of this trial.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of.
Oh, shut up.
Do you know for sure that I was told that they were a shock device?
I don't believe that's the truth.
I
I
doubt it.
believe every time you had those devices put on, I was in there, and it was either myself or Deputy Stengelson putting them on, and I did not tell you that, nor did I ever hear Deputy Stengelson tell you that they were an electronic
Oh, what happened?
device.
So you were here every
Oh. Hmm.
single day for every single moment of the trial.
Correct.
And you never heard any deputy tell me that they were, matter of fact, let me back up. Do you recall me asking what was being placed on my ankles?
That I don't. If you did, we would have told you it was just an ankle restraint.
And you said that it was an ankle restraint. Did it have any metal parts?
Yes.
And what are those metal parts?
Metal part is where a strap went through and the locking device.
And what are those, particularly, let's say if a defendant in a trial attempts to, let's say, attack someone, what would be the purpose of those ankle restraints?
To
The
trip
restraints
you.
we had on you would limit your movement. So if you did try to do anything, we would have had enough time to control you.
And you state that, well, the prosecutors stated that the same rules were in effect for the defendant as the prosecution, but were they not allowed to put up exhibits to go to the
That has nothing to do with this
to go
witness.
to the front of the courtroom and put up exhibits?
They might have a few times, but
The record will reflect it was one time in the presence of the jury, and after that, I called them on it and said that would not happen. And then after that, it was only with the permission of the court and then outside the presence of the jury.
I don't believe that, Your Honor, you can practice law from the bench and answer the question that was asked to the.
Mr. Brooks, I'm in charge of the record, not you, and the record's going
I
to
didn't
be
say I was-
accurate.
I didn't say, well, it's not accurate. You're practicing law from the bench.
All right, Mr. Brooks, do you have any other questions for this
Yes, I
witness?
do. Yes,
All
I
right,
do.
it has
Before
to
you
be
start.
about
It has to be relevant. Oh, come on.
the
Don't do that.
restraint system. Please
Okay,
continue.
and was I allowed to approach the bench and put up exhibits at any time during this trial?
you were not.
And so how is it that the prosecution was able to do something that I was not able to do?
That's not for me to answer.
Good answer.
It's because of the shock device that was put on my ankle.
There was no
correct?
shock device, apparently.
There was no shock device on your ankle, sir.
I was told that it was. And you said that you don't recall hearing that being told to me, correct?
No, it was not told to you by me.
Yeah, by you, but you also said that's the point that I'm getting at. I'm asking the question. You said that it wasn't told to me by you. I've never asked you, correct?
You never asked me, but I also did not ever hear Deputy Stengelson tell you that they were a shock
I
device.
never asked you. I never asked you, yes or no.
No, you did not.
So do you know for sure if I ever asked any other deputy?
Well, considering I was in there when the restraints were being placed on you, I did not ever hear anybody while I was inside the bullpen while they were putting restraints on you.
So it'd be fair to say that you don't know for sure if I ever asked what the device was that was being placed on my ankle.
No, I can't be for sure.
What is the point, Brooks? Brooksy, this ain't getting you nowhere.
So how do you know I didn't ask?
You don't have to answer that. That's argumentative.
I mean,
All right, the records
I'll
were
go.
made. Mr. Brooks, I'm cutting off the questioning.
She
I'm
emailed.
disputing him for
I
a moment.
emailed
The
her
records
back.
been made.
If she wants to
Deputy, you
come,
may step
she is
down.
welcome.
Mr. Brooks, if you have additional
Yes,
information
I've emailed
that
her.
you want to
She'll come if
provide
she
to the
wants.
court, I'd ask that you do so in writing.
I can't
and you
control her
provide
actions.
The identity of any and all individuals you claim provided you with information that you were in a shock restraint. But I'll make a finding based upon the testimony of Deputy Kibler and also my knowledge of being in the courtroom every day and seeing Mr. Brooks being attached, meaning they would secure him to the table, they would unsecure him when he needed to move and other things. I'll make a finding that the soft restraint system was what was utilized, and at no time was he ever in a shock type of device. All right, with that then, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to conclude the hearing today. We have the sentencing dates.
Hey,
I would
welcome
also
to the
ask that
end.
Any and all written side wants this court to consider.
She's gonna kick him out. Then we
also
can
be
talk.
filed by the 11th.
Oh yeah, it's
by
gonna
noon.
happen. Oh my
So that's
goodness.
November 11th
Hello,
at noon. That
everyone.
will give this court ample time to review it ahead of the hearing on Tuesday, November 15th. All right, thank you, everyone. We are in recess. The court's gonna
Yay.
take a short break before I start with my remaining afternoon calendar.
Well, that's the end of the big, massive hearing.
Wow.
We have Christina from Radix Verum here. Finally.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are all like, get on there, jump in.
Yeah. Michael Carney was pressing hard. He was in like super grift mode here.
You know it.
And you're ignoring me more than the judge is ignoring Brooks. You're doing
Aww.
email. Oh my God, I have. Oh, well, what you've missed was absolutely nothing. Have you been watching the trial in any way, capacity at all?
No, I was out on my walk trying to
No.
get some cardio in and exercise in before I got to
Well,
get ready to take my daughter trick or treating. So what I missed, fill me in if you don't mind.
Well, how much of the actual trial did you watch?
Oh, I watched most of it.
Oh, cool. All right. Well,
It was nuts.
this might be a little hard to believe, but there was a lot of sovereign citizen stuff, a lot of value given for value received. There was no subject matter jurisdiction today, unfortunately.
Oh no. That one's my
but,
favorite.
Yeah. The prosecution, they think they're going to bring in 36 witnesses for victim impact statement. Not witnesses, 36 people for victim impact statements.
Oh, that's
36.
That will be great.
Brooks estimates that he's going to have about 20 people speaking on his behalf.
What? Oh no.
I'm thinking they're probably going to be just about as imaginary as anyone who appeared as a witness for him to benefit him. His
Holy
mother
cow.
couldn't even show up. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. He's
But
just
the-
ridiculous.
the big takeaway we learned, though, the number one thing we learned today is those shackles were apparently not shock restraints.
What?
I don't know where we all got this information from, but yeah, they weren't shock devices at all. They were just normal random leg shackles tied to the chair, tied to the desk with a 4-foot tether.
Oh my goodness. He was saying that though during the trial. He said that they were the shock things on his ankles. And so I kept thinking, oh, that's so funny. I got to get me a pair of those so I can shock some
Yeah.
people on their ankles.
Yeah, it turns out they weren't like shock shackles. They were just, fuzzy handcuffs, apparently. They kept calling them soft restraints.
Oh
The
man.
little pink fuzzy shackles or something, it's kind of a letdown.
That's less exciting. I thought like at any minute, like we're gonna see him get zapped, if he lunges at someone or like
Well, frankly, that's what we were all waiting for. That was our purpose
yeah,
for living.
exactly.
Was
We've been
just
bamboozled,
I seriously
swindled.
feel really cheated.
I know. We have been
I,
swindled.
oh crap. Let me burn through a couple things real quickly here. Elsie, does it really matter? Shouldn't they just drop the lesser? Yeah, he's apparently he's got another trial in 2 weeks in Milwaukee.
Oh wow.
Um, I don't even know what they are. I have no idea what those charges are. I didn't care enough to look. But
Yeah,
if
right.
if they're like traffic tickets or something like that, they may just drop them. If it's something related to this, they may go through with the trial anyway, just for the victims' sakes. But I mean, they're just not like he's gonna get any more prison time. He's
Yeah.
not ever seeing the light of day.
No, he's done. Unfortunately, they don't have the death penalty, but I
Yeah,
guess hey, spending your life in prison might actually be worse. It might be a worse fate, You don't get to end it quickly. You're gonna suffer every single day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it says, why is the left prosecutor looking so damn grim? He did a good job. They all did. They brought justice. I think he was trying to give him that smoldering look, I think.
Yeah, he's trying to be a tough guy, okay?
Arr, arr. His eyebrows were on point today, though.
It's not easy for everybody, all right? You gotta look intimidating.
The cameraman, how do you think he's going to react when not a single person comes to speak for him? Probably how he acted at trial when not a single person, even his mother, didn't come to speak for him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he
Yeah.
couldn't even speak for himself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he
He
just
chose
kept
not
going
to.
off. He could not like no self-control at all. He's just saying grounds, subject matter jurisdiction. And well, his little closing argument was really disturbing. The gaslighting, like, oh, who are we to question God and God's
Yeah,
plan? Like, what?
Jesus wanted me to mow everyone down.
Yeah, he said that. And then he was like holding up the Bible, like, oh, I'm reading this every day. I just wanted to, I can't
But
say what I wanted to. I have nothing legal to say about that.
no, say, because I will challenge anyone. I'll issue you the same challenge. Go back through the video and try to find a single time where he turned a single page of that Bible.
Right? He didn't. I saw him holding it up and hiding
Yeah,
behind it.
yeah, doing
Like,
that little eye
yeah.
peek thing under. It was just like his little eyes were poking out between the monitor and the Bible.
Yes. Oh
And I
my
believe he had it
gosh.
upside down at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. He did. Oh,
Uh,
God bless
but
America.
yeah, is it too late for him to declare his lawyer incompetent? That's the beautiful thing about choosing to waive your rights to counsel. You can't represent yourself and then say, "Oops, I was incompetent." That's the one thing you can't do. Are lawyers not
Yeah.
held accountable if and when they openly lie to the court, even during questioning? Yes, lawyers are. If we lie, we get all kinds of bad things happen to us. We
Right.
cannot knowingly lie to the court. It gets you discipline, that gets you sanctions, it gets you contempt, it can get your law license ripped.
Yeah.
Legal advice says, check your emails, Captain. Yeah, we know. Again, for the third time. She's here now.
I'm
She's-
here.
She's here. Can we zap him to the extreme now? Yeah, I think we should. Just for all of us that thought he had that threat hanging over his head for the 2 weeks.
Yeah,
or 3
let's
weeks
put
of
him in a
trial.
special kind of chair where we can zap him.
Yeah, a big
saying.
kind of special chair like you've got there in Florida. Take the old Sparky there and see what happens. Boo, boo, Brooks crying again. I would
Oh,
like to have seen him
God.
cry like a little bitch again. And no camera. Still
Guys,
in your Halloween basement.
I was running around. I'm like covered in sweat. I was doing
Oh,
my
wow.
my walk. I will go on camera tonight. I'm gonna do a Halloween stream tonight with my friend at 9 p.m.
cool.
Eastern. I'll go on camera. I'm reprising my role as Wednesday Addams. All right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you'll get to see that one more time, and then that's it. No more Wednesday.
Cool. Well, I guess we should start with introductions. Hi.
Hi. Yeah.
I've stalked your channel. I've seen you and Andrew do your things together.
Yes, I love Andrew. He's so fun. He's a really good
he is.
friend too, Andrew's really
He's a hoot.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we had our fun weekend a couple weeks back.
Yeah,
The
well, you
parts
guys
we
like
remember of it.
you live in the same area, right?
Yeah, he's up in Seoul. It's like 2.5 hours by train. So
Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty cool though. And I heard you saying that like Andrew was the reason that you started streaming. I love
Yeah.
that. I think that's so cool.
yeah, I just took him. Said that's how easy I am. It only took him twice to convince me to do it.
Yeah, but like everybody should be doing it. Everyone has something of value to say. Everyone has like an opinion or a perspective that nobody else has. Like we're all different, we're all unique people. And, you know, for people out there who are considering creating their own channel and think maybe you don't have anything to offer, you don't have anything special to say, there's someone out there that wants to hear from you. You know, do it. Everyone should do it.
It's true. I mean, and it's been this is what 5 months now. Almost it'll be 5.5, a little over 5 months, somewhere between 5 and 5.5 months.
Yeah.
It's been very, very cathartic
Hasn't it? Right?
because
I
I
mean-
just stomp around the house yelling at me, yelling at the dogs for no reason when people do dumb shit, and now I get to yell at a channel full of people, and there's feedback. It's not just the walls.
Yeah, right? I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool. I mean, I remember when I first started like, you know, putting myself out there on the internet, and it's really hard. I used to just like shit post on 4chan and stuff. You know, you're anonymous, you just dropping your memes and stuff, but then you know, you put yourself out there and it's like, oh, this is totally different. I used to be so nervous and so shy. I really was. Like I never wanted to be someone that like put myself on video, on camera, like out on the internet. And now it doesn't bother me at all. I have no shame. I don't care. I'll tell people like, you know, my whole story. And I think that's, you know, kind of cathartic also.
Well, I think so. I mean, it gives you feedback.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and you know, validation, I guess, is another thing that it can do. But it's great. It literally did drop my blood pressure because I had a health exam about 2 months before I started this, and then I had to have another one, a government thing. Here in Korea, we have the health care that it's a government health care, and they require you every year to get an exam, every 2 years to get a medical examination.
Really?
And just in that 2 months, my blood pressure dropped, my cholesterol dropped, just because I had this
What?
outlet. So
Oh, that's
it's
so
really fun.
cool. Yeah, I mean, I have freaking high blood pressure too, for various reasons. But I think that
Mine is just I hate everybody.
yeah,
it's
I
like-
hate everybody too.
Life is stressful just because I hate everybody.
Not everybody, but most people. All right, let's just
Yeah.
be honest. Like most people are stupid. So
Yeah,
You
it
know.
would be much easier for me to list the people I don't hate than I do.
yeah,
So It's a
exactly.
much smaller group.
We're equal opportunity haters here.
Yeah,
all
pretty
right?
much. Well, now for those of you that are just joining my channel here, 'cause we've got what 600 people here, and yeah, Nick's got like 15,000 today, but what the hell?
We'll get there too one day.
Well, I didn't
There's
think Nick was going to be
billions of people.
streaming. He said he wasn't going to be streaming, so my crew rousted me out of bed. I got 1 hour sleep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning here now.
1 hour sleep.
And-
Oh my goodness.
15 seconds after I fired up the grill, Nick sends me the, hey, we're doing the scheduling hearing. If you want to come on, I'm like, well, I've already started this. May as well let it run its course now. So I've got my 500. We went up from 200 to almost 600. So that's good. Me, I'm just a lawyer guy here in Korea. I do law, maybe 70% maritime stuff, and the rest corporate and boring contract stuff. So that's kind of my content. Do Maritime Monday. Today we did ghost ships. Why? Because it's Halloween. We're doing this today. Tomorrow we're going to do another sad update about the situation in Seoul, the deaths that happened there.
Yeah, that was
So-
awful.
Yeah, it's not going to be a cheery stream tomorrow, but kind of talk a little bit about what happened, how it happened, and what to do if you how to recognize when a crowd is reaching that critical mass, and then what to do about it. Wednesday we're going hard on a judge she's a nutcase. This judge coming up on Wednesday, Judge Harriet Thompson. She's a surrogate judge out of New York, which means she deals with the
Oh,
states
God.
and things like that. She was removed from the bench for just. I did a deal a couple of weeks ago, just a little blurb on her, calling her the most racist, homophobic, worst person ever. And people were saying, there's no way that was real. That's all BS. I don't believe it. Bring the receipt. Show this. This sounds like a left wing woke conspiracy thing. They asked, I deliver. Wednesday, we're going on the full. She's asked to be reinstated.
Oh,
And she's applied to be reinstated to her job. She filed, well, the head judge who suspended her, he filed this gigantic brief alleging all of her wrongdoings. She filed a brief responding to that. We're going to look at those. And that now it's being investigated internally, and they said it could take about 2 years for it to resolve. But I mean, this was one thing that I read that people just said BS, bring the receipts. One comment. This is one comment out of a 20-page brief. And this is a woman. She is a black liberal a black liberal Christian judge in New York.
interesting.
I do not like Hispanic people. They have a deceitful trait that goes all the way back to biblical times. The men are always stealing, and the women are no better. They lie, steal, and use their vaginas for everything they want.
Oh my God.
They are corrupt and lost as a people. Trust me, watch them and how they move. That was one comment. And,
oh my God.
and I've got 10 single-spaced pages of comments this woman made to gays, to other blacks, to
Holy cow.
to blacks from the West Indies for some reason. There's a whole bunch
my
of those.
gosh.
Women.
This is so random.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, just she's like white women, black women, white men, gay men, black women from the West Indies.
All right, I have to watch this.
Yeah, that'll be Wednesday. I'm trying to get Drex on, but he said he
that'll
probably has
be-
to work.
That would be so great, though. I love him.
Well, I tried to tease him with, I can use you on my angry, racist, homophobic, hateful, liberal, black Christian judge stream, and it's so much worse than I could really make it sound. But he has to work. But if you're not doing anything, you're welcome to come on. Why not?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
come on if I'm not doing anything. That would be fun.
It'll be Wednesday, 10 p.m. my time, so that would be 9 a.m. your time
Yeah, I could probably do that.
on Wednesday. Okay, I will send you the link because
Okay.
they wanted receipts. They didn't believe me when I read one news article about it. So you don't believe the news article? I'll give you 20 pages of it.
Yeah, we have to sneed about this, guys. You got to sneed and ree about it.
But in her defense, she's claiming it all is a big smear campaign motivated by her political rivals.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we'll look at her brief, her responding brief. But yeah, the Holy Ghost has told her all about the gays and what their agenda is.
That sounds exactly like the Lord, you know?
Yeah. It's weird that she calls herself anyway, we'll get into it all on
But
Wednesday.
they're all like that, though. Every single one of them. That is how they
Yeah.
are. They are
Yeah.
all like that, and then they just project onto everybody else what they are. Yeah.
Oh, and it's she like I said, we'll leave it up there. We'll give both sides. We'll do both briefs, the one against her and the one she submitted, and we'll let y'all decide whether it's a smear campaign or whether she really is the worst person on planet Earth.
By the way, I thought that it would be fun for you to cover Darrell Brooks because he was invoking like maritime law, wasn't he? In his part of his weird like sovereign citizen crap, he was like,
yeah.
Yonner, the flag has gold fringe, and like,
Oh, yeah,
what the hell shit is he saying?
That's a thing because like
It's a thing. I know these people like
200 years ago that
Yeah.
meant something on ships. Now it just looks really cool and makes you feel like you have an expensive flag in your courtroom. Oh no, it's utterly. Well, we're gonna actually start doing that. I was gonna start doing it on the 8th. There's actually sort of a pamphlet, like well, it's not really a pamphlet. It's long. It's 20 some odd pages, 40 some, I can't remember. But it's the Sovereign Citizens Guidebook.
Oh,
we're just
dear
going to kind
God.
of read through it, start
That's
to
gonna be
finish.
fun.
However many weeks it takes, like one day a week, we'll have Sovereign Citizen Day, just to read through this, because people are like, explain sovereign citizens to me. Well, they something about maritime law. It's based on the flag. Your name is in all capitals on your birth certificate. So that means at the time you're born, the government uses that to set you up as part of a corporation so that they can tax you. And then I think I just sound like a raving fucking lunatic when I'm trying to explain what sovereign citizens believe. So I
I
thought
know, because
I'll just
that's
read
what
it from the
is.
source material.
Holy cow. And by the way, a long time ago, I interviewed a woman who went to jail because she was suckered into this crap. She thought she could like represent herself and make all these
Mhm.
baseless, bogus claims about because a man conned her and scammed her. She was married to this guy, like
Oh,
a
no.
OG grifter type that was like, oh yeah, let's put everything in your name, and like, oh, we don't have to pay taxes because, if we put everything in all capital letters, we don't have to have car insurance either, and let
Yeah.
your tags expire. And then if you get
Yeah.
pulled over, you just ask them what your legal name is.
Yeah.
What?
I do not consent to joinder with you. I'm not driving the car. I'm a lawful traveler on the land. But dude.
Yes,
Yeah.
this law of the land crap, or like the car is like a vessel, or like what?
Yeah, and
Oh,
so the
God.
more I tried to explain it, the crazier I sounded. So I will just read it. We'll just read it from their own manual.
Oh my
Then let
gosh.
people not think I'm the crazy one in this deal. It's like he can't possibly know what they're talking about because no one would believe this.
Yeah,
But
guys, it's
there's
nuts.
one sovereign citizen case that I'm aware of that actually worked in court, and I can't remember what it was or why it worked. But there's one that I know of. But the vast majority of I love watch. That's my thing, is to watch SovCit videos on YouTube,
Oh my
because it
God, they
always
must
ends
be
with please
funny.
exit the vehicle. No. And then it usually ends with like broken glass and that's
How'd that
great.
work for you? And I
Yeah.
think that Sean from Potentially Criminal,
Yes.
he summed it up best. He said, guys, if this actually worked, more people would be doing it. Like we'd all know by now. We would have all figured it out. The one or two
Yep.
times like this has worked, quote unquote, is like some technicality, like someone's made a mistake or something, and they just get off and they're like, yeah, take that. It works.
And weirdly, more people are using it, and the success ratio is not going up.
Yeah, what a
It's actually
surprise.
going down because more people are using it and failing. And
Oh,
it's
God.
insane. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm honestly thinking that's what happened with Brooks. I don't think he's a true born and bred, dyed in the wool SovCit, because he's not using all of the right
Right.
buzzwords. I think someone in jail sat him down and goes, dude, here, try this. Just read from this. Because some of this stuff that he reads, like, I accept, value for value, that is quoted directly from this manual thing that I'm going to be going
Oh
over.
my God.
And that's why, he was just reading it, not comprehending it. That's why he
Yes.
ended up mispronouncing the word tacit for 90% of
Oh,
the
that
trial.
was so funny. We're in a tacit agreement,
Yeah.
Jan, or tacit
Yeah.
agreement. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
We
But
were all so
obviously,
happy when he started pronouncing it right.
Yeah, someone must have been advising him a little bit in the background though, because then he started saying it right, just saying.
Yeah, well, the second to last day he managed to say it right. Other than that, it was
Yeah.
just driving me nuts through the whole thing, because he's just reading it and he doesn't know what he's reading. He's just doing something. I hope it was
I
someone going,
know.
dude, let's make sure he never leaves so we can get him alone in Gen Pop. Here, go do this. See you later, Brooksy.
Yeah, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh my
Corn Pop,
gosh.
thank you so much for the super chat. We have another one from Flux. Hey, Flux, I didn't see you in there. You snuck in there. I've been robbed. I didn't get the notification you came back. Well, I'm here now. How was your nap? My little 1 hour nap from 1:45 to 2:45 a.m. was pretty good.
Oh my goodness. I don't know
But
how
the-
you do it. Like,
Eh,
it's hard,
I will sleep for a few hours after this, but the Brooks victim impact statements are going to be on the 15th, and the court is looking At about 4.5 hours, she said 4.5 hours. I don't think she puts a lot of credence in anyone showing up for him.
I don't think
And then
so.
she's going to
Yeah.
drop the hammer on the 16th.
God, he's such a grotesque individual. Um,
Yeah.
I couldn't take it after a while. I was starting to get really frustrated, having to watch him just disrespect the victims and do all this weird shit where he would like talk about himself in the third person, when
Yeah.
he had people up there like, oh, or try to like the crazy making behavior of the narcissist where you just try to like talk in circles to just like wear people down and exhaust them. That's what he was doing. Just no logic. Like how do I follow like what he's trying to say? Because he's like going backward and forward in time and asking all these weird like things, and you're like, well, how does this track? Like, where is he going with this? Like, and are we making a point here? Or are you just saying shit? That's like all he was doing. Oh, it's
And see,
frustrating.
that's the hardest part is from an opponent's point of view. When your opponent is rational, you can argue against it. But
Yeah.
when they're completely nuts and they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, it's so hard to combat that.
Yeah, what do you do?
I mean, here in Korea, we have there's a few lawyers in town that we just dread going up against because it's just like, who's the opposing counsel, and you hear the name and you're like, oh God. Because you just know that the arguments are going to make no legal sense whatsoever. We have the same conversation every time. Like, is this guy really, really a lawyer? Have we really checked to make sure? And it's just one of those where they say things, and then like with the sovereign citizen thing, the more you try to counter it, the crazier you end up sounding somehow.
Yes,
And
it's so funny. And they do that same thing where they just throw out all of these vague terms and all this weird stuff, and then they'll read like paragraphs, walls of text, and
Yeah.
it literally like it doesn't mean anything, and you're just like, what? There's a couple of these guys that grift super hard off of this. They tell everybody that like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this Nesara crap. They're like
Yeah.
selling like crypto stuff too, but they're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be this global reset, and then they like shill their sovereign citizen stuff too to these gullible people, and they just try to make themselves sound like real smart by just reading all this obscure like nonsensical things and trying to throw it together and like, oh yeah, all you have to do is go in there and say this, like read from that packet that you're going to be reading to people. It is absolutely insane, but all it is just like talking in circles and trying to wear people down and exhaust them. That's really the strategy.
Exactly. I mean, two points there. Number one, that's absolutely correct. If someone comes and says that they're going to give you a $99.99 package deal for a seminar at a Holiday Inn with a Denny's attached to it, don't go.
Run.
Yeah, don't go. Because they're going to give you they're going to give you this manual that's been laminated so that you can wipe your blood off of it after the cop bashes your skull in for being an idiot. So don't go to that. And I forgot what the other point was. Damn it.
I hate when that
well.
happens.
Yeah. And what was the last thing you said? It was related to the last thing you
They
said.
just try to wear you down, talking
That's
in
what it was.
circles, exhausting you, and you like have no idea how to counter what they're saying because it makes no sense. And it's just like, okay, sure thing, buddy.
And that's the only time you've ever seen these things work on YouTube in the traffic stop is when the cop is finally just going, this is not worth writing a $20 speeding ticket. Just go. Okay, I don't need to know your name. Just fuck off. And they're like, yes, we did it, soft sit. And that meanwhile, it's just the cop going, I haven't had enough coffee and donuts today.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of coffee and donuts, Thursday we've got OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson Thursdays happens here every week where we're reviewing parts of the trial.
Oh my God, that has to be fun.
Oh, it is, because I was in law school when it happened. That's how damn
Really?
old I am.
I was in kindergarten and I remember
Jesus.
that. I remember coming home and I have this big Italian family. They
Mm.
were all watching it, like glued to the television. And I think it was like everybody at that time. This was the big
Oh yeah,
thing, you know?
it started the second semester of my second year of law school. Went through the summer and then through the first semester of my third year of law school. So I watched probably every minute of it, either live skipping classes on the weekends or videotaping it and then watching it when I got home from videotapes, those big rectangle things. You may have seen them before, Christina. We old people had. Videotaping them and watching them. But we're doing F. Lee Bailey, who is one of the absolute legends of criminal defense work, tearing apart Mark Furman, the racist and possibly evidence planting cop.
Oh my God. Oh,
That's fun.
geez.
That's fun. And Friday's my Fuck It Friday stream, which you're also invited to. I invite everybody to my Fuck It Friday stream. That's just
I
my
like the
grip
sound
stream.
of it already.
Yeah, it's things we just do random stuff, random stories, the weirdest news we can possibly find. Everybody gets on. We just kind of
That's my specialty. Like the weirdest stuff you can find. That's me, guys.
Yeah, so you bring weirdness, and that's just my once a month major grift stream. Is this? I do shots of whiskey for $100, and that's just my grift. And people are like, but aren't you worried about your liver and alcoholism? I after every fucking Friday, I do a week detox. Got to keep myself, and I do a dry week once every quarter just to keep myself in check. But
Don't want to end up like my mother.
Yeah,
vandalizing the neighbor's property.
Walking around with a pickaxe and sending through the neighbor's window like the one lady did on video this week.
She is a terrifying person, I swear. And her drama, that was literally 1 week in the life of my mother is
wow. Yeah.
Being a psychotic alcoholic, living in a gated community of a place she's not supposed to be living in. She found a sucker, some guy, to put a house in her name of a gated community that already sued her and caused her to file bankruptcy. She's not supposed to be living there. I'm like, why would she go back there? Because her narcissism and her ego is so great that she had to say, fuck you. You're not going to tell me what to do. Like
Darrell Brooks style.
Darrell, yes. She is exactly like him. And I think that's why watching him like triggered me so much.
Oh,
I'm
no.
like, oh my God. The problem and the difference is that Darrell Brooks is not like functional at this. My mother back in the day was one of the like actually intelligent people that had that quality. And she used to be very beautiful. So she always got her way. People believed her, and it would drive me crazy. And she always had some man, some poor bastard, paying for her shit along the way.
Well, if she's still getting people to sign houses for her, Mom still got game, it sounds like.
I guess she does. I remember when I was young, she would bring home boys my age that she would refer to as her boy toys.
Wow,
She
I
is
got
an
all Jada Pinkett
insane-
Smith.
Yeah, she is an insane woman, I learned how not to behave just watching her entire life. But
Well, that's a thing, isn't it? Though? I mean, that's kind of like I mentioned earlier. My dad's 87, living on borrowed time. We're trying to patch things up between us, but I do say I kind of learned my parenting skills by asking, "What would Dad do?" and do the exact opposite.
Yes, me too. Yeah, exactly. And she is not even allowed near my daughter, thank goodness, because she's so crazy. And like I can laugh about it and kind of joke about her antics and stuff, but it wasn't funny when I was a little kid. And she would throw me out of the house when I was 12, and I'd have to go to the Chinese restaurant at the top of the street to try to call like the police or a family member. And I didn't really have any other family, besides the crazy single mother. And like she would terrorize me. She was physically, verbally, and psychologically abusive. And I remember this one time that she had thrown me out when I was 12, and it was late at night, and I had to go call the police. And I will never forget when they showed up at the house, the mask comes on, right? Oh,
Mm,
hi, officer. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry that you had to come out here because my
mm.
daughter is out of control. She's just acting out because she was grounded and punished and oh nothing, I didn't do anything wrong. Like she could just like turn it on like that, right? Turn on the charm. She had
Yeah.
this guy giving her his phone number to go out on a date and she was, "Oh, sweetie, I'm so sorry that you've just been acting out lately." And as soon as this guy left, she came back in and the mask dropped and she
Mhm.
gave me the death stare like, don't you ever fucking do that to me again, like, and no one would believe me about the kind of person she was unless they truly got to know her. But that's what's so you feel like you're crazy. You're the crazy one because no one
Mm.
believes the things that you're saying.
Wow.
No one believes you because she just was so good at faking it. But then as her alcoholism progressed, she stopped having that ability to kind of like maintain that facade, you know.
Yeah.
It was yeah, then she's still, still going. Of course, she'll never change.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. My dad's mellowed, and he realizes that we've had a shitty relationship, but there's still just a lot of baggage to sort through. But at least we can talk on the telephone for 5 minutes at a time, so that's pretty good. That's progress.
Well, that's something,
Yeah, but, I
Yeah.
mean, he he was. I mean, there was never any physical abuse. It was just verbal stuff, and which in a lot of ways hurts more than actual
Yeah.
physical violence.
Yeah,
But some of it was just
physical
so over the
wounds
top. It
heal,
was funny.
Mental
One of
wounds don't heal.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the funniest things he ever. It's like it's horrible, but it was so over the top that it actually made me laugh, which was really the wrong reaction. Can't even remember what it was. I probably deserved it in retrospect, but it was something. He's like, "You're not worth the powder it would take to blow you to hell." Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
and that was my reaction. Apparently, that wasn't the reaction he wanted. Uh,
I guess you were supposed to be really like scared by that,
yeah, but
Like,
it
oh,
was just like crossed the line into absurdity.
yeah. Oh
But
man.
well, and I threatened once to call child services
Oh
on him
boy.
once. Uh,
How did that go over?
we had foster kids, so the number was right there.
Oh
This was back when
wow.
it was corded phones hanging on the wall days. I remember like taking the phone off the wall, going, "I'm going to call child services." And he said, "You want me to dial the number? I'll dial it for you. You know how long it's going to take for the cops to get here? About 15 minutes. Do you
You
have any
called for
idea what I
12?
can possibly do to you and hide the body in that amount of time?"
Oh.
All right, let me just hang up the phone.
Yep.
And it's funny because there's some comedian. Every time I tell the story, people, oh, that's the same story this comedian is telling. Was it Doug Stanhope or somebody has like this same comedic routine? I'm like, yeah, it's funny, but it happened to me.
But it
So
happened. Yeah.
it was like literally the same story.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
it's rough, and it's a. I mean, like I said, you can laugh about it or you can let it drive
Or
you
you can
crazy.
cry. Yeah.
Yeah. But well, what do you tell us about and if anybody has not subscribed to Kristen, get over there right now to Radix Verum on YouTube and subscribe to her channel.
Oh,
You
thank
will not
you.
regret it. She's one of the most based, unbreaded women you'll ever see. She's Florida woman plus.
Yeah, it's true. Thank you so much for saying that. That was really nice. I grew up in West Palm Beach. It's true, but thank God I'm out of Florida now. I now live in Northern Virginia and I love it here. I'm about 20 minutes from DC, so I can just hop on the metro. And when there's things happening here, I can go try to cover it. Like the screeching women outside the Supreme Court this past summer. Oh my God. That was wild. But yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on. My channel is Radix Verum. I talk about lots of stuff there. It's pretty much just like whatever. I don't think I have like a niche that I cover. I like internet craziness, and I enjoy covering like trials and court cases and stuff. I was a paralegal for 10 years, but I like doing
I'm
this
sorry.
much better. Exactly, right? Oh God. I did family law. Never want to be involved in the legal system ever again. It's so depressing
I
And
did one
ugh,
divorce in my entire life and swore to God I would never, ever, ever do anything with family law
yeah,
ever again.
it is sad. It is depressing. There is no winners ever in that situation. So you're just like watching people's lives like be ruined. But yeah, I cover all kinds of weird stuff, whatever is interesting to me. I'm also working on a documentary on the Michigan Whitmer kidnapping case. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but there were 6 guys charged federally with a conspiracy to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Do you remember hearing about this? Like in October of
No.
2020? Oh, it was a huge thing because it was right before the election. I have to be real careful what I say here, but basically,
Yeah, say that shit on your own channel.
yeah. These guys were charged with conspiracy to kidnap her. And it turned out, we learned through discovery there were 12 FBI informants involved, 2 undercover agents, and the entire thing was like an entrapment scheme. So it went to trial in 2021, March of 2021. 2 guys had taken plea deals. 2 guys were acquitted. The first trial, they declared a mistrial on the other 2 defendants. So 2 were acquitted, a mistrial on the others. They retried the other 2, and they were convicted. And then there were state cases that have spawned off of this that have been really crazy because those guys were charged with providing material support for terrorism because they were in the same group chat as the other guys, or they were in the same militia group, or like they allowed them to do like medical and tactical training on their property at one time. They're now calling that like providing material support. And so it has been crazy covering that entire thing. I'm working with
Wow.
Brandon Caserta, one of the men that was acquitted in this case. He spent 18 months in prison. His life was ruined. He lost his apartment. He lost his job. He lost everything. And there was no restitution given to him, like nothing. This guy walked into an
Wow.
active terrorism enterprise investigation in July of 2020. He was just invited to like, hey, we're doing some defensive tactical training and medical training. Come hang out. He attended 3 of these. He said there was nothing illegal going on. No one was talking about anything. And then he gets arrested in October. He has no idea what's going on. They set up like this sting to arrest him at his job. So his boss comes and says, oh, hey, Brandon, come in the back room. So-and-so wants to talk to you. He goes back there and the lights are turned off. And he's like, oh, what's going on? They flip on the lights. Their FBI is there, but they're not identified as FBI. None of their vehicles are identified. They're like black with blacked out windows. They're wearing baklavas, and
Jeez.
he thinks he's being kidnapped. He's like, what is going on? And they throw him in the back of the vehicle and they're like, what's your name? And they're like, is this the guy? What's your name? He's like, Brandon. They're like, yeah, that's him. Take him in. And he's like, what is happening? And then he gets down there and they're like, tell us about the conspiracy to kidnap the governor. And he's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you want to get on the bus with us? We've already arrested your friends and some of them are talking. Why don't you get on the bus with us? He's like, what bus? And they're like, get on the bus with us. Things can go easy for you if you tell us because your friends are already spilling the beans. You're trying to get him to like cooperate with them, but he has no idea what they're talking about or what is going on. Yeah, it's nuts. It's crazy.
When is this going to be ready? What kind of a time frame are we looking at?
I'm looking at 6 months to a year. I've already gone down and I filmed with him so he could share his story and show some of the discovery that like not everybody got to see. The whole thing is so crazy. The 3 lead FBI agents in this were all accused of misconduct. One beat his wife after attending a swingers party in Kalamazoo, Richard Trask. The other one, Henrik
I thought that was supposed to relax you and chill you out.
No,
a bit. He didn't quite get it out of
not.
his system.
Yeah. And there's body cam footage of his arrest where he's shirtless, like drunk. He's got blood on his face because he bashed her head against the nightstand and tried to like choke her out. You can see blood all over the sheets. It's crazy. He's the guy that signed the criminal complaint. He was going to be their star witness. Impala, the other handling agent, was accused of perjury in another case also involving informants. And then Jason Chambers, their main lead FBI agent, he is in text messages, and I have this from Discovery, talking to other FBI agents saying, hey guys, I'm going to be retiring. I'm going to be going into the private sector, and I need a big case before I go, because he's created a private intelligence company called EXE Intel that is seeking a multi-million-dollar contract with the federal government to advise on terrorism cases. And the judge was like, oh, I don't think the jury
Wow.
needs to know about that. I don't think it's relevant. What? A financial incentive? You don't think
What?
it's relevant? And the EXE Intel Twitter account was like capitalizing on having inside information on the Michigan case. It is insane. This whole thing is nuts. And yeah, I know I'm
It
going off a
sounds
lot because
crazy.
it would take hours to tell that story.
Wow.
But yeah,
Truth
that's
is
what I'm working
stranger
on.
than fiction. I mean, you could not write this. This is wild.
No, you can't make it up. And it's some of it is just so insane. Like they had, all these different informants. One of them was a woman that slept in the bed with like the subject target of their investigation. Just like nothing that is appropriate,
Wow, that'll be cool. Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Give me something to look forward to next year.
Should be interesting. Yes.
Well, what else do you have coming up? Do you have anything planned on for the immediate future?
Well,
to
tonight
talk
I'm
about?
doing the Halloween stream, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're just going to hang out and have fun and chat and probably, watch some movies, Halloween movies, which are my favorite. So yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Cool.
That's what I'm doing tonight.
Got a couple of super chats here to burn through. Missed Maritime Monday, gutted. My electric blew yesterday. Good to be back. Hey, Joe Choi, welcome back. Just catch it on the replay. Spooky ghost stories. Corn Pop, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Joseph D. Martino, if I were a city clerk and had to fight with Brooks over a traffic ticket or something, I'd pay his fine myself just to get his crazy ass out of my office. And that's kind of how the soft sits work. They try to out crazy people. Flux. My parents stopped talking to me when I came out as gay. I was only allowed to go home and see my dad when he was dying from cancer.
Aw, that's
Well, you're an
awful.
awesome woman now. It's horrible that people are that way, but hey, you're my fave, Flux.
Aw. You can't pick your parents,
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And W Daisy Girl Williams, Christina got a friend that comes on her channel sometimes called Southern Take. She be a trip too.
Oh, she's funny. You'd like her.
I don't think I've seen her before.
Well, she's funny. She is from Tennessee. She is a Southern lady, and she is very outspoken.
Oh, good. And so you're based in Florida, correct?
I'm in Northern Virginia now.
Northern Virginia now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Well,
grew up in West Palm Beach.
okay, yeah, because you and Andrew throw around the Florida stories a lot, and you
Yes.
talk about Florida a lot on your
The
channel.
Florida lore is intense. There's no other place like it. It really is the Florida stories. My God, like the bath salts crap. It's
Yeah.
I don't miss it. I swear.
Someone on my, I can't remember where it was. It was on one of Nick's streams or one of this whole trial thing. Just the days just blended together, and I have no idea who I was with or what was said on what channel. But somebody were talking about Florida, and someone's like, "Well, when you're talking about Florida, man, just add meth and an alligator."
Yes, it's Florida. Oh my God, it's so true.
I wish I could remember who said it, but it was funny. So if anybody that just joined here waiting to see the Brooks hearing, it's over. You missed it.
Yeah,
It was very
missed
short. It's just a scheduling conference where he and the prosecutor tried to come to an agreement on when they should have the victim impact statements and the sentencing. The judge ultimately, Brooks didn't want it to happen until like January or February. Judge says she's not putting up with that. The victim impact statements will happen on the 15th, and sentencing will be on the 16th. So if you missed that, that's what you missed. You missed him getting kicked. Somehow he managed to get kicked out of court again. But turns out he didn't have shock shackles on, which I feel betrayed. I'm not going to get over that.
Yeah, I'm not either. I believed in it, man.
We were really looking
I
to like
believed.
what is he gonna have to do to get tased? You know,
Yeah,
but it was never an option now.
I
Oh,
know.
oh
It's so
well.
mean. They did
So-
us dirty, you know?
I really feel like they did.
They did. That needs
what
to be a thing, by the way. If it's not a thing already, it needs to be. We need to make this a thing. For people like Brooks that are in court, we need to get the shock shackles. All
well,
right.
they do have them. Apparently, they just didn't put him on him.
Well, if anyone should
So,
have had them on,
yeah.
it was Brooks. And I
Yeah.
am glad that he's going to have to listen to the victim impact statements. Not that I think it will that he'll feel any remorse or empathy, but he should have to stand there while they read their impact
sure.
statements and listen to it, because he has this entire time not once acknowledged that his own fault in this. He's never said anything like, gee, I'm really sorry that I did this to you and your family. It's just like, oh, well, who are we to question God? And like, actually,
Yeah.
I'm the victim here. And don't you know, my family has been harmed by this. Me, 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 me.
Yeah.
The entire time it was me, 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 me. He brought up his child, his daughter, and tried to like use his children for sympathy points. It's like, how dare you? Jackson Sparks will never live. He'll never grow up. You want to bring up your child? Really?
My friend says, "I'm sorry, I was so annoying to make this happen. I'm drunk."
Oh no, I thought it was good. You did a good
It
job.
needed to happen. Yeah. Hopefully, it won't be the last time. Like, so we can get this. Now,
Yeah.
what did you think of the judge? Give me your opinion of the judge from beginning to end.
Judge Mommy. We can call her Judge Mommy because
Oh, yeah,
she's
I
cute.
did.
Not as cute as Dr. Sharon Curry, okay?
No.
No. Dr. Muffins and Dr. Mommy.
Mhm.
But Judge Mommy is cute, so she's got that going for her. But I just thought she was very I thought she was weak, allowing him to have these antics, but I've considered multiple perspectives here. Number one, that it's kind of like when someone's in the process of making themselves look stupid and digging their own grave, just let them do it. Give them, the rope to hang themselves. And I think that she kind of did do that in a way. Like you could really see his arrogance, his personality, his lack of remorse, his self-centered and entitled nature. I mean, he's so entitled, just arguing back and forth with her, telling her like to stop talking at one point. I was like, oh man, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so I think that, that a lot of people were saying, well, she's doing this and she's allowing these outbursts and stuff because she doesn't want to give him anything to say. He didn't have a fair trial to try to get an appeal or get a mistrial or something like that. But I just thought I kept asking myself throughout this process, like, if this were a male judge, would he even be attempting to act this way? Because you never know.
No.
I don't think he would, though. And I think it would have been shut down pretty quickly. He would have been put in the other room, muted, and just had to sit there and hold up his little objection sign rather than make like a mockery of the entire process, the entire court, and to do that in front of the family members of the victims. It just was stunning to me.
And I think there's a reason for that. Is I think a male judge would have started out the same. I thought at the beginning, I was totally on her side. I thought she was doing a remarkable job. She was remarkably calm and collected, explaining everything. For that reason, she didn't want to give any grounds for appeal. She wanted to make sure everything was covered, that she was being as absolutely conciliatory to him as possible.
Yep.
But then about the middle third, it kind of got a little bit old, where she would repeat the same things into the record every time he got booted out. She started giving him like I've been saying, it's the mother that does he, I'll give you to the count of 3. 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4, 2 5/8. And yeah, she got to that point. And then
Yes.
at the end, which is where I think it would not have happened with a male judge for one reason, which we'll get to in a second. The last third, I was just angry with her the whole time. It was a waste of time. It was
Yep.
she abdicated her authority as the judge because
Oh yeah.
Brooks tried to make himself look like Corn Pop says, still I'm alive. Congratulations, we're happy you're still alive, Corn Pop. But Brooks tried to act the tough guy, but he is the classic definition of a simp beta male.
Yes, he totally
He's
is.
a weak, gutless fucking coward that
Yep.
can't go punch someone in the face. Instead, he's got to jump in his car and mow down a bunch of old women and children.
Yeah.
That's how he expresses his anger. Total, I mean, whatever is lower on the totem pole, the omegas or whatever the fuck is at the bottom of the Greek alphabet scale of maleness. He's right there at the bottom with just the scum of the
Yes.
fucking earth. And a male judge would have recognized that and pounced on it and asserted his dominance and put him right in
Yes.
his place. Whereas the judge was trying to be so conciliatory, so accommodating that she abdicated her power. He controlled that courtroom for the last
Oh
3
yeah.
days of the trial.
Yeah, he absolutely did. In typical narcissist fashion, she would say, like, oh, and I kept saying, while I was streaming this live, she's going to bring him back in. Every time he'd be taken out and put in the other room when he stacked the boxes and built fort grounds and did all this crap, I said, watch her bring his ass back in. And it's just dragging this out. Everybody has to be sitting there. Imagine that was your child that this guy plowed into and either murdered, or like that one mother who 4 of her kids have been scarred for life by this guy. And you have to sit there and watch him play these little games. The jury's being brought in and out because he won't behave. That was stunning to me. And he did control the entire thing. He would be brought back in and she'd say, oh, you're going to behave now. Like a mom. Exactly. Like, I'm going to give you to the count of 3. You're going to be a good boy this time. Right. Oh yeah. And then as soon as he get in there, he would say, hold me in contempt. Hold me in contempt. I'm going to tell the jury about nullification. Like, we're going to now make homicide not a law. We're going to nullify that law specifically for you. The nonsensical nature of all of it.
He knew what would trigger her. He knew what would set her off. He knew what would get the delays. And the point where it was clear he was toying with her is when he begged to come. He asked to leave, then he begged to come back, and then she brought the jury in, and then he started talking before the jury even got through the door, and she had to send the jury back out again.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, it was. He exactly did, and that was the point when he said, "Okay, he's in control."
Yeah, and he was enjoying it too. He gets off on that stuff because the narcissist has to have control of everything. And he felt like he did. He was in control of it all. And I don't know if he was stupid enough to believe that like he could somehow win or walk on like a technicality or whatever with the stupid things he was bringing up. But in my opinion, he believed himself to be smarter than everybody else there. Like, oh, you guys aren't on my level. I know better than all of you. That was so frustrating. There were many points where I wanted to fedcast, I couldn't say what I wanted to say because I'd get my channel yeeted.
I think it was Nick that was suggesting that we sort of do like the like the sex cam streamers with the remote controllable insert devices, but we do it with shackles so that we can send super chats to the court, and that that'll determine the length and intensity of the shocks he gets.
Oh my god, that would have been epic.
that would have been great.
Yeah. So I just
inside the court, and
I truly believe that it would have been a totally different experience with a male judge. You know, we
Well,
needed
I would say
our
there's
Rittenhouse
some tough
judge.
female judges. There's some tough female judges
Maybe,
there.
yeah,
I think it was just her.
just her mothering, you know, coddling nature.
'Cause I've
Yeah,
seen some women judges that would scare the hell out of me.
really.
Yeah.
That's what we needed, guys.
Yeah. And I think a powerful woman judge would have been even better because this guy's got mommy issues.
Oh yeah, he hates women. That would have been to have a woman dominate him.
Yeah.
Would have driven him crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I think a male judge definitely would have just crushed him. And a lot of females and a lot of people in chat were saying, "Oh, I bet all of her colleagues are laughing at her. I bet she's the laughing stock." No, as I said then, I'll say again, I'm pretty sure that everybody else in her court was thinking, "Thank fuck that was not me that got this case."
Right? They're just glad it wasn't them. Oh
Yeah.
man.
They're just like, "Can I buy you some ice cream, Judge? Make you feel better after that day."
Yeah, let's
But
get you some wine. Nice
yeah.
glass of wine.
Oh, I'm sure all those tumblers were just full of gin, cheap gin.
Yeah, right? Gosh.
But, yeah, it was a rough trial,
It
and
was.
you're not gonna see many trials like this in your life, people.
No, I've never seen anything like this before. And I'm wondering now that he knows it's over and like the jig is up, how's he going to behave when we have sentencing and he has to hear the impact statements? I think he's going to try the same behavior. He's going to pull the same shit because he has nothing left to lose now. He already knows basically it's over for him.
Well, I mean, there's no reasons to object at victim impact statements.
Yeah.
There's no reason to open your mouth. And what I would do is I would sit him in the courtroom and say, "You sit here quietly. You open your mouth for any reason whatsoever, you go to the other courtroom. And the second he does it, you throw his ass out, you put him in the other courtroom, and you just mute him.
Yeah.
And you just let him
that's
sit
right.
there for the rest of the damn day."
Let him sit there and seethe, you know? The things he was doing though, like every time that happened, he would take like the jury instructions and throw them on the floor
Yeah.
like a child, or take the headphones and like throw the headphones, and then the bailiff would have to come pick him up and hand it back to him. Like, really, we're gonna play that game?
You
We're
know, I
going
didn't
to
get the
allow
jury
him-
instructions.
Oh my
Yeah, they're the
God.
ones you threw in the garbage can.
Yeah. When you're hiding behind your boxes, you know, it is just really wild.
And again, that's part of this SovCit manual. The sovereign citizen manual is to never, you will never say he understands something. That's do you understand this? I do not understand this. I don't understand what this procedure is. I don't understand. They'll say, "Oh, I've been informed." And do you understand these are your rights? No, I don't understand. These are my rights. I've been informed these are my rights, but I don't understand these are my rights.
Yeah.
That's right out of the sovereign citizen playbook. Don't admit you understand anything. Delay, question, and delay. That's just total textbook sovereign cit crap.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I'm so glad it's basically over. You know?
Yeah, we've just got
was-
the final rodeo on the 15th and the 16th.
Yeah, it was fun to watch it, and fun to make fun of him, you know, and say grounds, subject matter jurisdiction, sustained, objection, yonner. You know, we have all these things that we
Yeah.
would laugh about, but at the end of the day, it's like, don't forget how many people were harmed by him. 6 people killed, 61 injured. And that one witness that described like hearing the sound, that it sounded like a gun, like a magazine going off, just bump, bump, bump,
Yeah.
bump. That's how the velocity of like just mowing over people. I can't imagine.
And then the cop talking about pulling bits of clothing out of the grill of the truck
Yeah.
and the windshield wipers and things. Ugh.
Yeah.
What-
So
I mean, that's what I mean. Again, it felt bad to laugh or joke, but the first half during the prosecution's case, it was pretty intense. But you know, he made the spectacle of himself.
yeah, he
And
did.
so weirdly, I mean, you doing the legal work that you did, you know, like lawyers, doctors, and cops probably have the sickest sense of humor of anybody on the planet. just because you hear shit all day from everybody.
Yeah, it's true.
Very few people walk into a lawyer's office with a good story.
Yeah.
Very few people call a doctor or a hospital, or go into the emergency
Exactly.
room for chuckles. And nobody calls the
Right.
cops because they just want to see a friendly face.
Yeah. And the other thing is if you don't laugh, you're going to cry,
Yeah.
and yeah, because it is peak clown world. Okay.
Yeah.
This is peak clown world. Darrell Brooks, right? Oh, man.
So wouldn't using shock shackles carry a huge risk of mistrial? I mean, if you just sat there and zapped him repeatedly for no reason whatsoever, but I mean, it would have to be like him going over the table after the judge kind of a thing before you would shock them. And then I don't
Yeah.
think it would be particular grounds for a mistrial. And she's the judge who decides whether it's a mistrial or not. So she's going to say, no, it's not a mistrial.
There you go.
And he can bring it up on appeal because he's going to appeal. He's going to get an appeal. I think it's mandatory. I'm not sure, but I think it's mandatory
Oh, God.
in Wisconsin,
Oh, no.
where there's a life because in death penalty, most states with death penalties have an automatic appeal for a death sentence.
Yeah.
I think Wisconsin might have an automatic appeal, but he's got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be representing himself again and pulling his sovereign citizen bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I seriously hope he realizes the seriousness of it and he gets a lawyer and doesn't fire them just so we can go smoothly, quickly, and get over it.
Yeah.
People are saying you're still up. No, I slept for an hour. I'm not still up.
Aw, he got an hour nap in, guys.
I did. But it's probably time to go back to sleep for another 3 or 4 hours so I can get up and go to work.
Oh, man.
Well,
You're a
let's
trooper.
pimp your channel here again. Radix Verum, the root of truth. Go over to her site.
You
and
know
make
that's
sure-
what it means. Yo, that's
do.
awesome.
How Latin am I?
Yeah. Okay, that's so cool. You got points for that.
Aw,
No one
thanks.
knows what it means. Everyone always asks me, what does this mean? Like, this was the online username I used to use when I was an anon back in the day when I would do
Wow.
my shit posting. So I thought it was cool, though. I was just like, oh, yeah, the root of truth. I like it.
I do too.
And it just stuck with me, It's like one of those things that you can't get rid of it now, even if you wanted
Yeah.
to. It's now part of the lore.
Yeah, and you just every time you go to subscribe or sign up for some new site and it's not there, you're like, no, what do I do? And you're at a complete
Yeah.
loss. Takes you 5 hours to come up with a new username.
Yeah.
And then you never remember it
exactly.
because that's the only other one you've ever used in your life.
Right? That's right.
But you definitely need to go to her channel. Like I said, she's one of the sites that I go to fill my day. And I'm always happy when there's new stuff there because it's
Aw,
always
thank
interesting.
you.
And she's done the collabs with Legal Mindset, Andrew. Go back and watch some of those on his site. They're epic. They give the epic rants when that's what I like. People hate it when I do it. Like I was on someone else's stream the other day, and I'm from Utah, and they were saying, "Oh, we got bored and we drove. Now we're at some random hotel in Salt Lake City." And I stop the chat. We're going to talk about Salt Lake City here. So we're giving them pointers, such as the fact that Salt Lake City is home of the world's first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise.
No way.
Yeah, weirdly,
oh
isn't
my
it?
God,
Yeah,
that's
and it's like
awesome.
they've got Colonel Sanders' white suit there behind glass in his briefcase and all these pictures and things. But yeah, so I'm like, yo, you got to go here. You got to get your picture taken. The world's first KFC. Oh, wait, there. Go to the bar, Lake Effect. You got to go there. And I'm like giving him pointers where to go, and it was fun as hell. And I love when you and Andrew get together and talk about the same clubs and all the shit that goes down.
Oh shit!
neighborhoods
Yeah,
and
in
things.
South Florida. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It is fun, and it's nice to have someone that I could have known him growing up. We were in such close proximity, but we just never met.
I'm sure your
Until
paths
now.
probably crossed at least once or twice because you're all talking about the same exact.
I know they
stories.
had to. We had to have been at the same raves or something back in the day, and I know he went to them, guys. Yeah, we're the same age too. I think he's 1 year
Yeah.
older than me. So, and I've been to the Delano and stuff. Like I would go to South Beach. So I know at some point we probably did cross paths.
Well, it just shows how weird how weirdly small the world is. 'Cause
Yes.
I've got people in my chat that that grew up or lived for a time in my stupid little town of Logan, Utah, in the top of
Yeah.
the Rocky Mountains. Even someone here is Adriana Logan, the Kinky City. I, and when I went back on vacation, like some of the people that frequent my chat, some of my loyal viewers, just meet them and say hi. You go have dinner at some of these great old restaurants that are, we rival high schools. We know mutual
Oh, that's
people in
so
common.
great.
It's so weirdly small.
Yeah. The legal community in South Florida is so small too. I remember at a certain point when I would go for like job interviews, people would be like, oh, are you, so and so's daughter? And I don't want to say my mom's name here and put her on blast
Yeah.
because she's she does that enough to herself. But it was that bad where people knew who she was after a certain point, and I had to be like, no relation,
Yeah. Nope, don't have it.
Or I would have to explain, yes, that's my mother, but I'm nothing like her. When I was like interviewing to work for this guy, Louis Schaefer, he is family law lawyer down there. My mother had worked for him first, and she literally left on a lunch break and like never came back. And she was crazy. Her hypochondria, her narcissism, always sick, always a victim of some horrible thing. And interviewing with this guy, and he's like, oh my God, your mom left, and are you are you anything like her? And I had to be like, no, she used to do this stuff to me too. I'm nothing like her, I swear. And I love that guy. He was really cool. He was from like New York City, and he started out like at the total bottom. He had a similar story to mine where he started out like, clerking or being like the office guy that brings around lunches for people. He was that, and then he worked himself
it doesn't get
up
much
to
lower
being
than that.
a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah, so like he had worked for everything he had.
Also, it's
and
like
he
Better
knew-
Call Saul.
Exactly.
He like
knew
starts
exactly
in the mailroom
what
and
it
ends up
was
being
like
a lawyer.
to be at the bottom. Yeah, and to have to like work for everything. He would go like to law school at night while working
Better
to put
Call
himself
Saul.
through it. So I'm like, yeah, I can respect this guy. Yeah, he was really cool.
Oh, well, you've got 8.85 thousand subscribers. People, get
Let's
over there.
go.
Hit subscribe. Get her up to 9,000 subscribers. She
Aw,
deserves to be at
that's
9,000
sweet.
subscribers. Need 150 more to get her up to 9,000 subscribers.
We can make it happen. There's 700 and
Well, we
something
can.
listening. Let's go, guys.
We could almost get you to
9,000.
10,000 with the people here.
Oh,
So
wow.
go over to Radix Verum and hit her subscribe button. And me, I am 20, I can't do math, 27 away from 32,000.
We need to get you to like 80,000. It's going to happen. I
Eventually.
remember when I first met Andrew and first went on with him, he had like 30,000, and he has grown real fast. I know you will too. Once you hit that stride, then it's exponential. I want to reach 1 million people. That's my goal. I want to reach 1 million people. Totally realistic.
I'll have to make some life choices if I ever hit 100,000, but everybody wants the million.
I know. I want to reach 1 million people, whether that's here on YouTube or just wherever, like in the actual real world. But that's what I want to do. That's my goal.
Just so we make sure people are going to the right place. This is the website here. This is her YouTube channel here.
Yes.
You definitely want to go there, and you definitely want to subscribe.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mr. Legal Bites wants to fight Ricada Law. That was fucking
Oh
funny.
my God.
You had me rolling with that one. Just
love
the comments.
I love internet blood sports too. So I'm like, oh man, I can marry like internet blood sports and LawTube and like bring it together. We don't even like this term LawTube and these online communities and how they always devolve into like snaking each other, like I hate it. It's so wrong, and these are my friends. So if you step at my friends, I'm going to come at you hard because I'm a loyal person,
Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to watch Box Fort. That's a great video. Yeah. This one here, Darrell Brooks meltdown in Box Fort. That's great.
Yes.
And we got this ugly guy down here that we all may know.
Oh no. Oh man.
You know, it's you definitely
When he
you
tried
would-
to call the state of Wisconsin, it's
Oh, Jesus Christ.
it never ends.
And
Oh,
see, I
God.
called that from day one because that's the deal. That was his soft sit thing he never developed. Was you have the right to confront your accuser. The state is the accuser. Where is the state? He could have done that argument. I mean, still would have had zero effect, but he could have made it a lot better, a lot stronger than he did. But he doesn't. He hasn't totally consumed the entire sovereign citizen pill.
No, he hasn't, but he's probably studying his little manual right
Yeah.
now. Oh man.
He's like, I missed it by that much. I can get this on appeal. I thought it
Yeah.
was brilliantly hilarious that he subpoenaed the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, he was saying that like, oh, you can't bring a claim, a person, like only a person can bring a claim against another, not an entity.
Yeah, it's-
Like,
don't
you
think
have
that's a-
no clue
yeah.
what you're talking about, buddy. But nice try.
It's not how any of it works, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the 4 box is a good one. Go watch all of her videos. They absolutely will just keep you in stitches the whole time. Even the terrible tragic stories like the one you were sharing about your mother, the most recent one.
Yes.
It was sad but funny. It was like a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
you know?
you'll be rolling. She is a ridiculous figure. It's sad. I feel bad for her. I pray for her. But she's done horrible things to me also. And I do kind of think, I know it sounds wrong to say it, but like part of me laughs, every time like finally someone's like, she's being held accountable, for the things that she would do my entire life that like I always knew she would do and people didn't believe me. It's like now you're getting what is coming to you after everything you did to me, throwing me out into the street as a teenager when I was in high school, stealing my identity, everything else.
And see, that's what I mean by this stuff is cathartic. You get it out there, you put
is.
it out there, and people
Yeah.
react to it. And
Oh,
you
my
feel
sister hates
validated.
that I talk about my mom. And I don't do it a lot, guys. If you go on my channel, like I make some videos where I talk about narcissism generally because I find the psychology behind it really interesting and I have personal experience, but I don't really bring up personal stories about my family. But my sister is like, "Oh, you shouldn't put mom on blast like that." And I'm like, "I'll do what I want. This is my life." And she terrorized me, straight up
Mhm.
terrorized me, traumatized me. I like have PTSD from her. I still hear her voice in the back of my head sometimes. Like, that's how much she traumatized me as a child. Like that stuff doesn't go away. You still hear her like little negative, like nasty comments like, "No one will ever love you. You're a monster. You ungrateful, blah, blah, blah. You ruined my life." No, I'll talk about her if I want to, but I do it very, very rarely. Only when I
Oh,
think
hey.
that it's like that people can learn from that, and I was so surprised because I wasn't sure if I should make the video and talk about what happened, but the comments that I got of people responding, it's like almost every one of us has someone in our life like
Yeah.
that. You
There's
all
some toxic
have,
person there somewhere.
yeah, you all have a Christina's mom in your life, whether it's a family member or a friend or a coworker. Everyone knows what it's like to have to be around these people. And just like the stories in the comments section that I read were so like, I could relate to that so much. And, I don't know, I thought that was really special. I was glad that I did that after I published it, just to see how many people have dealt with something similar. It is in a way like it makes you feel better, like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one,
Yeah.
because
Well,
it's
and
embarrassing,
well, you may think it is, but like you said, people are going, I get
Yeah.
it. On some level, we all get it.
Yeah.
But we need to set something straight right here. Remod says, "Why do women always stream with their camera off? What's the point? Are they that self-conscious?" You go to
my
her
channel.
go to her channel and watch. She
I'm
just
on camera in almost every video.
she just explained that she's feeling a little bit unkempt at the moment.
Yeah, I was outside jogging and I got like Michael emailed me like, "You gotta come back and get on the stream." And I said, "Okay." like covered in sweat. Sorry, I'm not going on camera that way. I know you all want to see it though. Not happening.
Yeah.
Unless we get me to 15,000 subscribers and maybe you'll see it.
But no, she's on camera all the time, and
Yeah.
just look at the little profile picture that's here. You think she has any problem coming on cam? No.
Aw.
Don't be foolish, people. Branka would
Yeah.
call you a coward. Well, she'd probably punch Branka in the face too. So you know. See, go to her. You have no idea how based this woman is. I've seen her catch Andrew speechless a couple of times.
Andrew has to cover for me. Oh my God, that's so funny.
You've rendered him speechless at least twice that I can remember. Can't remember what it was.
I
But
know.
that's how
"Okay."
based she is. So she has outbased Andrew a couple of times that I've witnessed.
It's
So,
true. You love to see
yeah.
it, guys.
And you know, I have no interest in putting on some milk toast, you know, dead fish handshake having woman on my stream. And I'll do the same thing for a guy. I want the strong, powerful, dynamic people that have a fucking opinion and aren't
Yeah,
afraid to put it out there. That's what makes engaging conversation.
that's
Not to have
right.
somebody that sits around and goes, yeah, I know.
Yeah, we don't do the fence sitting thing here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Andrew and I talked about that a long time ago when his channel was smaller, right before the Johnny Depp thing blew up. He was saying, like, I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to try to appeal to like these normies that are going to be coming in at this time because I know they won't stick around anyways. They're here for one thing and they're going to leave. But there will be those few people that appreciate my honesty and being candid and just saying how you feel. And those people they'll stick around and they'll be loyal to you because you're being genuine. You're not like doing this thing where you put on a facade and pretend that you don't feel the way you do because you don't want to offend somebody. I don't do that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that my two mentors in this YouTube, the 5 months I've been doing this, has been Andrew and Nick. So I kind of got that from the beginning, was just, you know, do you. That's why, you know, Andrew's like, that's why I want you to be on here, not to be someone else. Just I want you just to do what you do when we sit here in the bar drinking like idiots. That's what you should do. And that's what Nick is saying too. You be yourself,
Yes.
follow your own, and sink or swim. If you got it, you got it. If
Exactly.
you don't, you're not going to make it. Just be yourself. And so I'm glad that I had that. I had the two people, and I mean, Nick is just, I mean, a huge thing, which has been
I
asked. Sailor
know.
Mercury asked, have you been on his stream before?
I've been on with Ricada a couple times.
Yeah. So we need to do more of it.
Yeah,
Because-
not on Ricada's stream, but when he's gone on with Andrew,
Mhm.
I've been on with him. But we got to get me on his channel. I like his wife though. I want to be on with Lady Rackets. I think she's so
Oh,
cute and nice.
They were on together on Friday's stream, and I was invited to. They were so cute together. Oh God, that was so
Aw.
fun to be such a part of that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't seen your short. I was just checking to see what your subscriber numbers were here, and we are up to, what are we up to? We're almost up to 8,900. Come on, people.
Come on.
Get a few
don't
more
be
there.
Lazy. Look at the noses.
Just
and stuff.
110 more subscribers will get her to 9,000. Do that. And the one I haven't seen yet is a short called "I Hate the Antichrist." I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of our shows, you know, on my channel. It's called I Hate the Antichrist, where we sneak
Halloween edition.
about the Antichrist. We did the Halloween stream, but I had to take that one down. I put it up on my Odyssey channel though, guys. We've only done 3 episodes of I Hate the Antichrist. We're going to keep it going though, because people keep demanding more of that series, but it's a little too unbreaded for the YouTubes. I'm gonna move it to Odyssey from now on, but you guys should follow me there also.
I haven't seen the short of the Halloween edition. Is it something we can bring up here and show?
You can. It's just me talking about how the show went in my little
okay.
Wednesday Addams costume.
Well,
We can
that's
play it. We can play. I don't
and that's what
remember
you're going
I
to be. You're
said.
also going to be doing today. You're going to reprise the Wednesday Adam look. You said.
Yes. Yes, and I do hate the Antichrist. Come on, we all do.
Who doesn't hate the Antichrist? Yeah,
That's right.
unless you like Anton LaVey, maybe. But all right. Let's see why we hate the Antichrist on Halloween.
Thank you all for joining us for this special Halloween edition of I Hate the Antichrist, episode 3. I can't believe we're already at the 3rd episode of I Hate the Antichrist, which is a very important series. It's an important show where we sneed about how
It's a
much
sneed.
we hate the Antichrist. So I hope you guys appreciated the Wednesday Addams Halloween attempt, and I will maybe at some point do a pinball machine stream for you guys.
Pinball stream.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking about it. Everybody wants me to do that. I have this Addams
by the
Family
way,
pinball machine.
She's got a fucking pinball machine in her living room. That's how cool she is.
Aw,
She's got like a full-on pinball machine in her house.
Yeah.
That rocks.
And it's the Addams Family pinball machine. So if I'm going to wear the outfit, I'm going to do the pinball stream at some point. It's just such a cool machine. You know? It's neat. Oh boy. Am I in here by myself now? Did this boomer just boomer himself out of his own stream?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
You're such a boomer. Boomer moment.
Boomer. Yeah,
You have sound effects?
I do.
Oh my god.
Boomer. We got Boomer and then and Boom from Gears of War. We got that locked and loaded. Those,
I need one of those things. I need sound effects.
my people hate my sound effects. I think they're funny as fuck, but everybody else hates them.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I think they're funny.
I think they're funny.
I've got some Lionel Hutz here. Speaking of Sneed, we've got some Simpsons Lionel Hutz here. We've got some Big Lebowski things.
Oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah, so I need to get sound effects, guys. It's true. But the pinball machine is really neat. Like this is the one from the 90s. So it's the 90s Addams Family. I love those movies as a kid.
Yes.
What?
Yes, I said.
Yeah, okay. They're good. The original show was awesome, but I think the 90s one was so much better. And I recently rewatched Addams Family Values, and I was like, oh my god, the 90s were like such a time. You will never get that time back again, okay? We'll never go back to that. And it was just so funny. So yeah, I definitely need to do the pinball machine stream at some point. You know,
I must admit, I'm in love with your pinball machine. That is so cool.
it
Which,
is
if you go
neat.
watch your most recent video, you will see the pinball machine featured prominently in the background.
You will see it. I want to get a neon light back here. That's going to be my next little short-term goal here. Get myself a little neon light. I don't know what I want it to say yet, but it's got to say something funny. I'll probably make it say I hate the Antichrist.
That would be, but it's got to be like red, like a dark red thing or like a dark
Yeah.
green thing, and something evil looking.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Or just like Miller Lite, one of the two.
Were the 80s better than the 90s? I was born in 1988, so I didn't get to like personally experience the 80s. I only got to live vicariously in the 80s through movies like Wall Street, but they looked fun.
Jesus, I moved to Korea for the first time in '88. Jesus.
Really?
Yeah. 19 years
man.
old. 19 years old,
Really?
squeaky clean behind the ears, wet behind the ears, Mormon missionary boy. Yeah. when I first
Oh
got
my
here to
god,
Korea.
that's so cute. That is adorable.
Yeah.
Aw.
And then I grew up and
Yeah.
saw that the world had a lot more fun things to offer.
I went to Catholic school. I know what that's
Mm.
like, you know. And
Yeah.
my Catholic school was wild. Okay, I went to Sacred Heart. It's in Lake Worth, Florida. There's that guy, Mark Foley. If you guys remember him, he was a congressman or something. He went to Lake Worth, and the school used to brag about like how he was an alumni. And then that Page Boy scandal came out, and there it was him and like some of these other guys. And I was like, oh no. And then we had Father Flynn, one of the priests there, was a you know what.
Of course he
I
was.
always suspected him, guys. Even as like a little kid, I always had the radar for these people. All right. They all have the rosy cheeks and there's like a physiognomy to them. And he would always demand people kiss him on the cheek. He would point to his cheek like this. And I thought, that's not right. There's something a little weird about that. So we were all told that when he left the school that, oh, his mother got sick and he has to go back to Ireland to take care of her. They raised money from us claiming that they were sending him back to Ireland to take care of his sick mother, when really they just moved him to another school or another parish and just covered the whole thing up. And it wasn't until years later that we found out what he was doing. And that really made me angry.
But ironically, it was the Catholic Church that sort of broke me out of my Mormon shell in university,
Really?
Utah State University. Utah State
Wow.
University is one of the biggest party schools that are
Is
there.
it?
It is. It's weirdly. But it was winter quarter of my freshman year, and it was study time to study for finals. And you can study in the library. I can't study at home because I just play games and watch TV. I have no motivation to do anything at home. So I'm like, okay, where am I going to study? And my friend Tito, he's like, you should come on over to the St. Thomas Aquinas Student Center. It's quiet there. And that's when we went over there, and that's when I found out that they serve all you can drink hot buttered rum.
Of course.
I'm like, sweet, this is awesome. I'm coming to study here every day. So that was my gateway into sin.
Oh my goodness. Unbelievable.
And I never looked back.
Well, I'll tell you, after, the whole Catholic school experience, and not that it was all bad. I mean, it was nice to have a small, especially in South Florida, it was 1,000 times better than Lake Worth public schools. At least we were literate there. But like, there were some nice people there, like Sister Marilyn. The principal was real sweet and stuff. But like going into the public high school, Lake Worth High School, where there's like Latin kings and like these Haitian gangs and stuff, I was like having culture shock and all of that. It was so nuts to me. But that kind of like that experience just made me like question, organized religion in general. And now I'm an Orthodox Christian. So, yeah.
You've come full circle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, man. We're sitting here at the 2.5 hour mark. It's 5:30 a.m. I do need to get at least a couple of hours more sleep.
Yes, and I got to get ready to take my daughter trick-or-treating. But if you guys are interested, come hang out tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're just going to sneed and talk about stuff and hang out, just chat and stuff. It'll be fun.
How close did we get to the 9,000? Did we get to at least 8,900?
I do not know. Come on, guys, make it happen.
Well, let's see here. I don't know what numbers you've got. Oh, I've got 8.92.
All right,
so that means you're like 80 away from 9,000. 80 away.
Aw, we'll get there.
Go to Radix Verum. Seriously, there's like a billion of you here in chat right now. Well, maybe not a billion. I'm afraid
there's
to
a
click
lot
any
of
buttons.
you though. I've got my eye on you.
There's
guys.
695 of you. Only 80 of you need to go over there and smash that like button on every video she's ever done and subscribe to her channel. Get her up to 9,000. And me, what do I need? I need like 80 more or something. I need 74 more to get to 32,000.
You are very, very close. Come on, guys, and share
Yeah.
it. That's something you guys can do.
Oh yeah, share. I never talk about
Share.
sharing.
Yeah, post it on social media.
Yeah.
Come on. We all
But-
have Twitter. Y'all have Gab or something. Post it. Get it out there.
Well, you are definitely welcome on Wednesday's law rant about Judge Thompson. Judge Thompson is either the worst human judge ever to walk on planet Earth, or she's the most misunderstood based judge out there.
Yes, we need to know which one it is. Come on, guys. Oh
And
my
the Fuck It
gosh.
Friday, everybody's invited to Fuck It Friday. 'Cause that's just what we do.
That
So-
should be fun too. I always like having a group of people, to hang out with. I think it's fun.
Well, let's do it. So, what's coming up?
All right.
When is your next release? Tomorrow?
Maybe
Today? It's
Tonight.
Today. You're
We're
doing your thing today.
tonight.
Yeah.
We're doing the stream tonight. I've never streamed on Odyssey before. I'm trying to do it on my stream on the YouTube channel and on Odyssey like at the same time. So I know I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have a boomer moment. I'm gonna have at least one boomer moment. But that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm trying to build up the Odyssey thing just in case, because I think I'm 2 strikes in already. They got
seriously?
me. They got me. Yeah. Back in 2020, I went down to DC to do these like man on the street interviews.
Yeah.
And this was like, it was right after the 2020 election in November. There were like 1 million people showed up. This was before J6. It was like in November. They called it like a million MAGA march or something. And I just walked around just like asking random people their opinions. And then I put the clips up, and it was some of the things that people said in there. They hit me with the community guidelines strike, which never expires. It never goes away for questioning, a certain event. You're not allowed to question the integrity of some things, guys. And I was like, oh man, it wasn't even me saying that. I was just interviewing people. And so I had to take down every single one of those videos. I had to go through and like take it all down. And you never know. Like they're always moving the goalposts. So I just, trying to build up the Odyssey channel, guys. Because there's like Andrew, they got Andrew for something really goofy, like graphic content. Like what? He just sits there in his little bathroom in Korea.
His airplane bathroom.
His airplane bathroom. I guess you could call that graphic, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow.
And they went back on like to an older video with his. They'll do that. They'll go back years even. And since their TOS and their community guidelines are constantly changing, they don't grandfather in the old stuff that was fine when it was published. And if you have been doing this for years, you never know when they update this stuff, like if they're going to go through your back catalog and get you for something silly. Like who has the ability to go through years of their content, hundreds of hours to, make sure I didn't say something or talk about something here. It's a crazy way to live. And they're way
I
too
couldn't tell
strict
you what
with
I
it.
talked about yesterday.
Exactly.
I just spew crap out of my mouth 95% of the time.
Yeah, especially when you're on a live stream or something. Like I
yeah.
never remember what I say in live streams.
It's like people, you said this. I'm like, oh, really? That's kind of funny. I'm kind of proud of myself. That
I'm glad
did I really
that.
say that?
Yeah. So it's just nuts. Yeah. But I also have a second channel that I'm trying to get everyone over on. It's it has like 400 subscribers now. So that's good backup just in case.
I did not know that.
Yes. I don't even know what it's called. So sorry.
Well, that
I
helps.
can tell you, but if I remembered. But I know
do you
I
have
have
a
it
Twitter where
waiting in the
people can-
wings.
You have a Twitter where people can keep in touch with you?
Yes, I am not Radix on Twitter.
That's it? Like not Radix?
Yeah, just not Radix. Yeah, at not Radix. That's me.
I was like, okay, so what is it?
Yeah.
Then there
Who
was
is
an
it then? If you're not
extended
Radix, what are
pause.
you?
Yeah, there's like, well, that explains why I've never been able to find you.
I'm on my third one, guys. I can't no longer.
You're not on your third one. That would be wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That was a funny joke.
I
I
like
don't know.
they're just like, it's
I'm
not
praying
Reddit.
about
I'm like,
Elon.
yeah.
Elon just fired like the board of directors, made himself like the sole person there. So hopefully we're gonna see some action here, maybe.
Oh, that last the last thing before. Did you see that troll video where the mainstream media were talking to the people that had allegedly been fired?
Yes.
The dude's like, yeah, well, I gotta go home and break the news to my wife and husband. And
I bought it. Like I believed it. It was such a good troll. I love stuff like that.
I did too, until several people in Drex posted it, and there was like several people there saying it was just a troll. It was so good that it was like literally something that one of these SJW twink people would say.
I was like,
It was
oh
perfectly
man, like
executed.
because I saw another video recently too with this weirdo that worked at Starbucks, like having a meltdown in the back room, and
Yeah.
it was crying about being
Oh,
mis-
They had to work 8 hours a day
can
for
you
2
believe
days,
it?
a double shift for a total
Oh,
of 8 hours a
please.
day.
Like you stand there and make coffee, you little freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
it's-
misgendered me even though I have a full mustache and beard. It's like, well, welcome to,
But
you want to
you
be a
look
man.
questionable.
You're a man. Now man the fuck up.
Ligma
You're a provider
Johnson,
now.
Ligma Johnson was the name of the troll. Ligma Johnson. Oh, that was epic. If that guy is listening, if you're out there, you did a good job, sir. I commend you. I salute you for that because I bought that hook, line, and sinker. Gotta
Wait,
go home and tell
the
my husband
Starbucks
and
one?
wife. No, the
Oh
one
God.
in Twitter. He
I was
called.
like,
I guess his name was. He told him his
Yeah.
name was like Ligma Johnson.
Yeah. No, there was two people. One was something Johnson, and the other was something Ligma.
Oh, okay.
Those like their last names were Ligma Johnson. Which I thought you were trying to tell me the
epic.
Starbucks guy was a joke. I'm like, no, that was
No,
way too
that was
authentic.
real. That guy was having whatever it was having an absolute meltdown, and that was real.
But
These
that's
are
the
the
thing.
young kids nowadays. These like Zoomers. I feel so bad for them because they just have no identity. So they come up with like, they're all like brag about having like 17 mental illnesses or like being
43 personalities.
Yes, that's all they have because they don't have like an actual identity, and it's so weird. And they've just been so coddled, like I don't know, or indoctrinated their entire lives that like they can't handle any adversity. Like, oh my God, somebody called you a word, like boo hoo, go cry about it. Try being homeless.
A double shift on the weekends for a total of 8 hours, and there's so many customers.
It's like, what are you doing in the back room then on your phone?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
Leaving the other guys out, and like I'm saying, like, you're a man now. You've now entered the world of the provider, not the providee. You're a provider now. Man the fuck up and go out and go bust your ass. Go tell another man how rough you've got it working 4 hours a day and 8 hours on the weekends. When you got other people busting their ass for 15 hours a day at some job they fucking hate.
Yes, or there are people that would love to have any job at all that are like starving right now or like, going through a hard time living out of their car.
Yeah.
Come on, like you should be grateful for what you have. These people, they have no humility. There's no humbleness in them. There's no gratitude for anything.
Yeah.
I hate seeing that because, I remember what it was like to really be in a bad place, to really be out on the street with nothing but a little suitcase as a girl, a young lady, and how dangerous that was. And it's like, you young people, and the things that you think are problems are not real problems. You haven't experienced that yet, and hopefully you don't.
Yeah, I was telling a young teenager that the other day, one of my friends' kids, like, oh, I have so much stress, and I was like, oh, I wish to fuck I had your stress.
Yeah, when I was your age,
Yeah, I wish I had all that stress I had back then.
Right?
What I wouldn't give to have so much stress that I had when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I have no ability to shut up, by the way, as you've seen. I'm just gonna have to pull the ripcord here. I will seriously talk
You'll
until
just
noon.
talk. Oh, I love it. That's so funny. I'm the same way though, guys. Like I'll just talk and talk and talk. It's why I gotta have my wingman with me when we do I Hate the Antichrist, or I will just blab and blab, you know?
Well, it's clear. It's clear. It's like, hi, I'm Jeff. I'm Christina. Let's sit here and talk for 2 hours.
I know.
But I do appreciate you having on here, and our little matchmaker there that was
Yes,
grifting
Michael.
both of
Good
us.
job. Michael has got the grift going. I'm gonna
He
learn
pulled the
from
parent
him.
trap on us.
Yes, exactly.
He pulled the parent trap on us, and it worked. So here we are.
It worked. You did a good job, Michael. I'm gonna learn from your grift.
Oh, well,
We'll see
thank
you
you
later
so
tonight.
much. Thank you so much for being here. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and thank you everybody in live chat. You have a really cool chat. Very based, very unbreaded chat. You guys have been dropping my links out there. I really appreciate it. That's so sweet of you.
I love my mods. My mods are great.
They're awesome. They've been dropping that stuff the whole time I was here. I didn't have to do any of it myself. So thank you guys. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll definitely come on again.
Super.
Just you have my email now. So
I do.
All right.
We're in touch. The people I don't
Yeah.
have will talk to the people you don't have, and we'll work it out.
exactly. That's right. Our assistants will, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
We'll make
I'll send you the
something
email. All right. Have an awesome day. Look forward to
you.
seeing the Wednesday Adams stream.
Yes. Come tune in tonight, everybody.
I
It'll be
will.
fun. All
I will be
right.
sitting at my desk working hard, multitasking.
There you go.
My boss wanted to know why I needed 2 screens. Well, because I have a lot of work. I need to open lots of documents, or I just need one that's open to YouTube. That's why I need 2 computer monitors in my
That's
office now.
right.
Everybody get over to Radix Verum, subscribe to her, and subscribe to me because I'm kind of close to something. I have no idea how many I need at this
That's
point. I've shut
right.
all the windows down.
And
But we'll
shill
talk
it.
to you
Shill
all
the
later.
links.
Watch her. You're going to be in 5 hours from now, 4 hours from now,
Yeah,
5 hours,
yeah.
somewhere around there, whatever.
9 p.m. Eastern.
So it'll be 10 here. So 4.5 hours,
Yep.
which is right when I start work. So good for me.
Yeah, there you go. Get
All right,
some
take
sleep
care,
in
chat.
between.
Anything you want to say as we leave here?
Nope. Just That's how I sign off every time I had to.
Thanks. and on that note, bye.